right, what's happening, party people?
What is up, Monday Night Freaks?
Welcome everyone to episode 158. Just getting last minute setups here. Hope you're all tuned in and able to sit here for the next, I'd say about 90 minutes, because it is nothing but the NFL. So we are ready to go.
We're a week and 3 days away from opening kick.
Which we only should be 3 days away. I don't know why there's a week in between.
I know. Just wanna give a little bit of time for the cuts, and then people will sign with new teams and what. So I guess I'll give them that. Okay. Got to bring those rosters down by tomorrow.
Because all those guys getting cut and then re-signed are really going to be playing week one. They're really going to be like getting a lot of snaps.
I might find that cap casualty that.
Special teams maybe. Like if they need to get used to, and they're going to be like a special teams specialist or whatever. But whatever.
Slater, legend, from like the Chargers, not Patriots.
Right. Okay. Cool.
That's right.
That's right. It's time to ride.
Let's ride.
Oh man. There it is.
Broncos country. Let's ride.
Made it famous.
All right. You guys ready to go? Okay, cool. I think the the furnace just turned on, so I can catch some of this sound and then eliminate it. So once this turns on, we'll be ready to go. If you can hear that, that's what that is.
Can you hear us good too, Mike? Can you hear us well?
Yeah. I'll just turn up my volume a little
cool.
bit. Yeah. I can hear you guys.
I want to know how close I need to get my mic.
All right, you should be good.
Why does Sean look like he's in the paint program or something?
He's in Kid Pics from elementary school.
Dude, I still need to get my. Dude, you know what? Today it's weird though. Today I don't know if it's something with my camera setting felt. It's never this zoomed in. I don't know why it's so zoomed in today.
Let's go like this.
Hella weird.
Like on your phone.
I wish it was that. Yeah, I freaking noticed.
Our laptops at work can do that. Like when I accidentally have one finger on the mouse pad and then I accidentally scroll and it like zooms in. I just go like this. I found that out like 6 months ago. I'm like, oh nice. Shoot, I didn't know I can actually do that. So, all right.
Are you ever live videoing in any meetings, or
you mean like me on the
when
video?
Other people are
only like interviews. Like sometimes I'll be the one to like. We always like to have one person at least be on video during interviews. So I'm cool. Sometimes half the time I'm the person doing that. But like our LPR and stuff, like our 3-hour ones between just us, never.
Nope.
Okay.
And I never will.
Okay, let's go live. Actually, let me give me the 10 seconds of silence, and we'll start episode 158, shall we? 3, 2, and 1. What's happening, fans? What is going on, fans? And welcome to a special episode of the Comic Bookies podcast. Episode 158 is here, live and direct on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you so much for joining us right now or in the next 100 years. But this is the 2022 NFL season preview show. There is nothing. That's it. That's the whole intro, but we have everything that you need. We're going to break down every team, every division. We have our picks for who's going to win what division, the conference, and of course the Super Bowls. You know, these got plenty of names who are leaving, plenty of names coming into new teams, and the effect that they have, and maybe me and Sean have a little bit of fantasy talk as well. But episode 158 is 100% NFL, so let's get it started right now. Let's go. All right. Oh, Aaron's season preview show with the eyes. Aaron's on. Hello. Sean, you're on mute, by the way.
I knew Aaron was going to be on. I was going to text him. I'm like, oh, he going to see NFL preview show. He for sure going to be on.
Aaron, I was telling Sean just before we went live that you can't take it, like, no weeks off this year. You have to be like the one person to be involved in the super contest. Tell all the friends that are in like the fantasy baseball league. Tell everyone you know to just either send the show, the picks on our IG like every week. They don't even have to tune into the show if they don't want to. Just send the picks, and that way we actually it's a little interesting, and that way we can send the winner like a little goodie bag or something. So yeah, make sure to do that.
Yeah, man.
And if you don't, then I'll make sure Sean hounds you about it too. So he'll be on you.
That's right. Have a good week at school tomorrow, little bro. I know you start school tomorrow, so good luck.
So you take a picture with the little chalkboard.
Yeah,
like year two at
right
where's he going? Like Sacramento State or something?
Sac State.
Yeah, year 2 at Sac State. I want to be a veterinarian. All right, cool.
Let's go.
Welcome everyone else who's joining live either right now or when they decided to watch the video later. This is episode 158, so let's get it cracking. Okay, going back live in 3. Well, hold on. Are you guys ready? Mark and Sean?
They're doing the DX voice.
Are you ready? Oh, Aaron said he started today. He hates it already.
Oh, I started today?
He hates it already. So, okay, going back live in 5, 4, 3. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Comic Bookies Podcast, episode 158. Like every single week, we are brought to you by Treasure Island Comics in Fremont, California. This week, the very last day of August 31st, 2022, is New Comic Book Day, so go out there and get your comic books. And you know what? This week is special. Go ahead and talk to Alex about his Rams and his Raiders, because it's not just comic books this week. It is strictly the NFL. Unfortunately, we won't have any, comic book talk for anybody this week. No talks about the new House of Dragon show, but next week me and Sean will be back on it on a regular schedule. We'll have the first 2 episodes of that watched. Fingers crossed, we may have the first 2 episodes of the new Lord of the Rings show watched. I just started season 3 of The Boys, so there's plenty of things that we can watch and talk about, and of course our comic books. So we'll have plenty of that next week, but this special episode 158 is nothing but the NFL. So we are locked and loaded. We got our beer, we got our coffee, we got our water. We are raring to go. So thank you so much for everyone who's joining us on YouTube. Please subscribe to the page, because not only will you get the great soft sounds of Mark, Sean, and myself, Mike, every single week for the next 22, 23 weeks, but also you'll have the opportunity to check in with us and give us your picks for the TCB Super Contest. So like last year, it's the same thing. We're going to have our own little mini contest between us, but we would love the fans, as many of you, to join us and to not only kind of compete against us, but compete against each other. And the winner, after the 18-week schedule, will get a nice little prize goodie bag from us to you. So with all that being said, gentlemen, Mark, Sean, how the hell are you? I'm very freaking excited for this week.
You said one word that I don't think I want to hear for the next week or two: beer, after that beer fest that we enjoyed this past weekend.
Oh, God. My stomach is still not normal, but it was fun.
It was a fun 24 hours, but no, everything is good, man. Back to it this week. Obviously, we all got a work week and then a 3-day weekend, hopefully coming up to most of America, so definitely enjoy. And yeah, to what Mike said, man, I mean, that's what's on everyone's mind. The NFL is kicking off next season. Before that, tomorrow everyone has to see who's going to be the final cuts on their NFL team, and
that's right.
It's a lot of excitement, man.
For sure, man. And just wanted to say, pretty much, happy early Labor Day weekend, right? So,
yes, sir.
Just wanted to give a shout out to everybody, because it's the last time we're going to record. But you guys know, man, it's just kind of marks the end of summertime, really. And just, I know the weather's still going to be warm.
God.
Such crazy times right now. Some parts of the world got no water. Some parts are flooding, and just, wild times, but just still exciting as always. We got some games in college last weekend. Those were fun. Obviously, the big one with Nebraska losing over there in Ireland to Northwestern. Scott Frost can't figure it out. But yeah, man, just fun times. Excited for more college. The opening weekend this week coming up. couple good games there. Oregon, I believe, or that might be next weekend with Oregon and Georgia. But there's going to be some good games coming up here on the slate, and just excited to get into that. But just more importantly, man, excited for the barbecue, excited for the good weather and beers and Cali summertime, and to get into this episode 158 with you guys, with the fans, with my brothers. It's going to be a good one. I just hope that our respective teams do as good as this episode's going to be, brothers.
I know. And to what you're saying about the summertime, yeah, it sure as hell ain't over. It was cooler today. That's why I'm recording in the garage, as you can see from the video. But I will be in the bedroom next weekend because I believe Sunday here in Tracy, California, it's supposed to be 105. So not going to be, I'm just going to tell you now, I would need to have fans constantly blowing through here to even remotely get this place cool. But yeah, I'll probably be in the bedroom for the first for week 1. But yeah, dude, so everyone get ready. Those of you of this show who've been following us for the last 3 years, this is the time where our sports section is freaking huge because we have the dog days of summer, the final month of the regular season for Major League Baseball, so we're going to have to check in on that every once in a while. NASCAR Playoffs start this weekend. It's going to be crazy. And then when you have so technically if you want to say September, but then the next month, October, you have the beginning of the NBA, the beginning of NHL, and then you have just college, and this is what our bread and butter is, like talking sports, talking gambling on those sports, but then at the same time we have everything to watch and everything to read on the other side. So don't expect the hour and 15, hour and 20 episodes. This is the days where it's at least 90 minutes, so enjoy. Or if you don't, then please let us know, and we'll try somehow to tweak it so we're not blabbering on and on for 90 minutes.
We gave them their break during the summer.
Mm-hmm.
We had ours also. I did my move, but sorry, TCB fans, it's time to get back on the grind with yours truly and the brothers.
Right. So not only were the episodes shorter, but they also only got us every other week. So now it's even longer and every week. So sorry, not sorry.
NFL's back, man. You can't expect anything less. Come on now.
Right. So I mean, shit, man. There's nothing really else to say. Let's get into it. I'm excited for the season. I'm not really too excited about the Raiders. Their strength of schedule.
Here it comes.
Their strength of schedule. Oh yeah. I don't care. Chandler Jones. Oh yeah, Devontae Adams. Woohoo.
Here it comes.
But like when you have like top 3 strength of schedule, like hardest schedule, we could easily end up being a much better team than last year and have a worse record and not make the playoffs just because we're playing against really quality teams for at least 14 of the 18 or 17 games, 13, 14 games. It's crazy.
You guys got a hard schedule. I know the Niners got a hard schedule, but it's that year, man, where these are the games that are going to get you ready for the playoff. They're going to get you ready for hopefully a Super Bowl run. I mean, you guys got the roster. You guys were 10-7 last year, second place. So I mean, it's the season,
right?
It's this season,
right? And then that always is going to happen. If you have the consistency of being good, right? So you're always going to have that second place schedule. You're never going to be last place playing than the other division's last place teams. You're always going to end up playing like those two kind of weird games where it's not an NFC or an AFC or your division. It's going to be the ones, second place in the other division and second place in the other division. Sorry, you don't get the freaking, the Jets every year. You don't get the, what have you. So, yeah, no, but I'm still excited about the season. But
what's worse, their strength of schedule or their offensive line?
I'll let you know after week 1. Because I know how bad the strength of schedule is. So let's see after we go down to LA and either win or lose against Khalil Mack and the Chargers. So we'll see.
Hey, it's gonna those are the kind of games that definitely bring the best out of players. And again, man, I think that might be the best game of week 1. Other than opening game Thursday, Rams and Bills. Raiders and Chargers, that's going to be some fireworks for sure.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, let's get to it. Let's actually, do you want to start with that division, or did you have other divisions in mind?
Let's save that division.
Okay,
the best division.
Okay, let's save it. Okay, so we'll go just like last year. I think we went both Easts and both Norths and both Souths, and then we'll finish with both Wests because that's both of our teams, right? So let's go East to West, man. Let's start with the AFC West. So you have AFC West.
AFC East.
Sorry, AFC East. My bad. So You have one of the favorites to win the Super Bowl, I'd say, in the Buffalo Bills. They had a very, very disappointing end of the year last year where they, just kind of, in my opinion, choked against the Kansas City Chiefs in the playoffs. And then you have
13 seconds.
Right.
That's all it took.
Right. And it was just unbelievable because we've seen those prevent defense games for a long, long time in our Raider fan career. And it just
what does it do, Mike? What does prevent defense do?
It prevents you from winning, Sean. Quite frankly, it prevents you from winning. And then to the cherry on top, sorry, Chiefs fans, but I mean, it was the Chiefs too. It's like, God damn it. Like I always, like if my team's not making the playoffs, I want the other three teams not to win as well. I don't want the Chargers, I don't want the Broncos, and I don't want the Chiefs to win. It's just how, it's how I am. But, Mahomes did it, and they went on, and they didn't win, but yeah, so you have them, like Mac Jones and the Patriots, and so what say you what are some things that are kind of what things come to mind when you think of the AFC East and what additions and subtractions for a lot of these teams that can help them either improve or go on the decline?
Man, I think honestly with New England, we saw how they kind of Mac Jones revitalized them after the whole Brady, trade and whatnot. But I think that personally New England might take a step backwards this year. I think Mac Jones kind of, little bit of like rookie luck, not like, beginner's luck type, right? You start off real hot. I think that defenses are gonna figure him out a little bit. I mean, like I said, let's not forget Buffalo last year, 11-6 record. New England was just right behind them with 10-7. I think New England might stay about the same or digress. With Buffalo, though, I don't really see them making too many splashes in the offseason. Obviously, we see the debacle that happened with obviously a special teams punter got released facing some allegations or some rape charges, I believe. Mm-hmm. That's like the most news I've been seeing lately from the Bills. But,
right.
They got first round pick here, K.R. Elam from Florida cornerback, James Cook in the second round, which is a running back from Georgia. I think the Bills, I'd say that their window is somewhat shortening. They're getting there, right? They're doing what they have to do to put themselves in position in these playoffs and win these games, but it's going to start at a certain point where they're going to start questioning, the system or Allen or what have you, right? Because that's just what happens in the NFL. That's just nature of the beast of playing in this league and just not producing when you're basically the favorite, which I believe they are this year at about a 6-1. They're right up there with KC and whatnot, but I still see them with this, obviously contending for the division with Tua down there in Miami. And I know you guys can elaborate a little bit more on, the Tyreek Hill and the little connection down there, him obviously with all the offseason shenanigans of him claiming that, Patrick Mahomes wasn't as good as Tua and whatnot, kind of stirring the pot. But, I think this division, if New England can keep it close and kind of replicate the same season that they had last year, and if Miami can beat those teams that they usually do down there, like Mike likes to say, in the South Florida Heat, I think that this division can actually be a pretty good one and fun one, kind of like the West, the AFC West that we're going to talk about later. But I'll pull up some numbers here while you guys kind of elaborate.
Right.
But what are you guys' thoughts on it?
Man, we gotta give some love to the Jets here, guys. Come on now.
No.
True.
Okay, we're done with the Jets talk.
And we're done with the Jets. But any Jet fans out there, please comment, give you your, tell us why Breece Hall sat there at the top of the board in our fantasy draft last night and sat there for about 3-4 rounds before he was actually taken. I will say this, though, like when you want to look at the offense, Mac Jones and, of course, Buffalo, Stephon Diggs, Josh Allen and everything, both of these team defenses gave up the least amount of points last year on average. It's like 17 points for the Bills, and I think New England Patriots gave up like 18.7 points a game. So as far as these teams being able to score points, obviously they can, but on the same token, they also are very stingy on the defensive side of the ball too. So Sean, did you end up getting Chase Edmonds from Miami? Because the Dolphins, one of the running backs you said would kind of hinder your decision, they cut him today. Sonny Michel, former Patriot, was cut today as teams start to trim rosters from the Miami Dolphins. So, but I don't think you got him, Chase Edmonds.
I didn't get him, but I do like Miami. I mean, the question with them, of course, is Tua.
Right.
But then again, they have good weapons. You're wondering how the rookie coach, the former coach for the Niners, how he's going to do with them. I mean, there's a little bit of question marks there. How far can Tua take them? But when it comes down to it, I'm all Buffalo in this division. I actually think the Patriots are going to digress for sure.
I really think Mac Jones, you're the same thing.
Mac Jones is going to have a tough sophomore year, in my opinion. Something about it, I just don't know what it is. I just think reality is going to slap him in the face. Yeah, I'm already hearing about some of the struggles he's kind of having in camp and stuff, but I don't know what it is. Some with those Patriots, I see no more than 8 or 9 wins, maybe. But Buffalo, I mean, they did add Von Miller also. Older Von Miller, but it's still out of Von Miller.
Von Miller, yeah. I mean, as long as he can have someone not like Aaron Donald, but someone who can take a double team, so that way he can, he can be freed up, of course. But that is interesting. As we go along in this episode, I'm interested. One of the topics I wanted to say was who's going to have a better second year. You have Mac Jones, Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields. Of course, Trey Lance didn't play the whole season, but now he's going to have his opportunity to shine out there in San Francisco. But yeah, it's definitely a topic I wanted to bring up too. So he's one of them. So both you guys are saying that they're going to regress a little bit as far as him and the team. I think it's a sweep across the board. I think I would put my money on the Buffalo Bills to take the division.
Buffalo.
When you always have the Patriots, when you have Bill Belichick, it's always going to be, I wouldn't be surprised if they split this year against Buffalo, like on a head-to-head, as far as head-to-head. But I think just overall, I think they're just a better team. They can score at will. It doesn't matter. So I think this is one of the easier divisions to pick. Miami's going to be interesting too, because a lot of teams go down there and they don't play very well. If Tua and Tyreek and Waddle, if they can use all of their speed to just run these defenses ragged and crazy, they're going to get tired come the second half, halfway through the third quarter, and you might see the Miami Dolphins squeak out some of these close wins as they come from behind at home this year. So it's going to be a very interesting year for Miami, though. I'm interested. I'm going to keep a close eye on them, but I still see them finishing second or third behind Buffalo.
Yeah, I think Miami. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, you got to remember also with Buffalo, brother, it's a lot of expectations are put on this team. And sometimes how that works out, right? But I'm just saying, you pretty much got Josh Allen as your MVP favorite.
Right.
You pretty much got Buffalo Bills are your, the highest. I mean, they got the highest win total at 11.5 games, which, like I mentioned, they were 11-6 last year. So it's basically, they're right there again. Are they going to win 12? Man, I'm telling you, I think that they probably do have a very good chance of winning the division, but I have to say that I wouldn't be surprised if they can digress a little bit and maybe, or not even digress, but not live up to the expectations. Remember, barring injury to anybody, God forbid, the quarterback with the depth chart there looking like Matt Barkley and Case Keenum. So, I think, like I mentioned, I think Miami is going to be that sneaky team. Once again, they got a good system coming from, they got the head coach from the San Francisco 49ers and Mike, what's his name? Sean, of course, knows.
McDaniels, I think, right?
Yeah. He was kind of a backbone piece behind Shanahan and, the whole offense there in San Francisco. So that's why, that's why Brian Flores, I'd say pretty much from Miami, is so pissed off that he lost his job because even though he wasn't that bad of a coach, he wasn't getting the job done for, Miami's ownership liking. And I think it's Steven Roth's the owner. And there it is. He got this guy from San Francisco from the Shanahan tree, and now he got Tua and he got his weapon to go along with them, couple, picks. And I think that they're going to be creeping right there, man. It's going to be a fun division.
Who kind of stands out to you, Sean, as far as fantasy-wise? I'm not sure if you have anybody on your specific team from these teams, but I had Stephon Diggs last year. He was my keeper. I think I kept him in like the 5th or 6th round, and that was probably one of the best value picks of the year because I think he finished top 3, 4, 5 in as far as receivers is concerned. So. But anything else jump out? I think like Josh Allen's a given. I think Mac Jones is a bye week, QB. Tyreek is of course a wide receiver 1, I think. But like anything special about this division in fantasy?
Yeah, my 2 players I think in the division. I mean, I'll probably for the rest of the podcast when we talk fantasy won't even bring up what you said. Those obvious. One of the best players in football, purely Josh Allen, Diggs. Like we know about those guys, but 2 guys I really like. Is Ramondre Stevenson from the Patriots. Love him. I love this kid, and I think he's going to be really, really good from the Patriots. He actually probably is the best running back on that Patriots team. And he'll have the starting job soon. And you know what? I know he had one game that everyone's like, okay, pretty good. We'll see how good he's really going to be. But I think Gabriel Davis for the Bills, that second receiver who they said, he's not just like a number 2 on the team. He's like a 1B. Like they're saying he literally has the skill set in practice, doing everything that Diggs does. Some things he does even better. So we'll see,
Right.
But those 2 guys, I think they could definitely help some teams out.
That's definitely something I like to look for when I'm drafting in fantasy too. Is like you have the top 5 like MVP candidate at quarterback, and then you have like someone who's like Devontae Adams for the Packers, or you have like Stephon Diggs. You have that one solid receiver, and no one thinks about that second receiver who's going to take the second best cornerback. He's going to get less looks as far as, just, being aware of where this person is on the field, right? And so, you have like a Jamar Chase last year, and T. Higgins still had a good year. Tyler Boyd can still have a great year, right? We saw it with Hunter Renfrow. Everyone's got Waller on them, on their mind, and boom, here comes Hunter Renfrow, freaking making the Pro Bowl, and yeah, it's just it's absolutely crazy. But yeah, no, you're definitely right. So, okay, I think we spent enough time on the AFC East. So I think everyone in the chat, everyone here, I think we're going to go ahead and maybe take the Buffalo Bills. No one circles a wagon like the Buffalo Bills. Do you guys agree? Who's going to take the division this year?
Yeah, I'll go with Bills. I'll go with the Bills. Just they got the continuity. They've been doing it for these last couple years. I feel that New England will regress a little bit, and I think Miami's going to take at least the season to click to be able to catch up to the Buffalo Bills rear end. Yep. So, yeah, I'll go with the Bills.
Speaking of Bills, they still have Bill Burr as their head coach. The guy who looks like freaking Bill Burr. I think so. Anyways, all right, let's move on to the other Eastern Division, the NFC East. So, all right, let's go, guys. The new team. I've never heard of them before, but the Washington Commanders. I'm excited to see what this new team has in store for us. Then you got the Dallas Cowboys, the ever trustworthy, the ever overachieving Dallas Cowboys, Philadelphia Eagles, and to round out the division, the lowly New York Giants, football Giants, who get Saquon Barkley back, but I don't know. Anything surprise you about this division, or are we going to say, like, just like every year, Dallas is going to steamroll this division, go 5-1 against the division, win the division, and then get booted in the first or second round of the playoffs? Anything different?
I hope it's a fly eagle fly, man. Adding AJ Brown, I think, might be the difference. I think Jalen Hurts is going to kill it this year. I mean, I know you hear all these. I really do. I mean, yes, there's a fantasy aspect of it. That I heard a stat in the last, I think, every start that he's had since becoming a starter, he's actually statistically better than Patrick Mahomes from a touchdown to interception ratio, yards per game, and I forgot what the other.
Stop it.
What?
Hey, yes, statistically, he's actually equivalent on most things, if not better in certain things than Patrick Mahomes since becoming a starter.
Vegas doesn't want you to take the Mahomes MVP odds.
Right.
They're trying to sell you. They're trying to sell you.
Oh, and Mahomes going to be Mahomes. Come on, that's a $500 million man. But no, I like the Eagles in this division. Cowboys are going to.
Jalen Hurts 25-1 for your NFL MVP odds.
So you're saying that Russell, our friend Russell, keeping him in the 15th round, that's probably going to be the smartest pick of the goddamn draft.
Don't be surprised if he's a top 3 scorer
what
in the whole
hell?
Overall. Top 3 score.
I'm sorry.
Top 3 score.
9-8 last
I'm
year.
sorry.
The Eagles were.
Who are his weapons?
Hey, you know what? A.J. Brown's good. Devontae Smith is good. Goddard is good. I mean, you have Miles Sanders that when he's healthy, he actually was a good running back last year. Of course, it's staying healthy. That's the problem with them. Their offensive line isn't terrible.
Right.
So, I mean, offensively, and he's there and he moves his legs. New head coach,
right.
Doug Peterson, who's actually not a bad coach.
No, it's not a bad coach at all.
So, I mean, there's something there.
You're starting to sell me a little bit on it, Sean. You're starting to sell me a little bit.
It's better than going back to talk about Dallas and Mike McCarthy finding a way to blow that team up.
Now, you have to have a good running game because when they drop back and they force Jalen Hurts to throw the ball, those guys need to get open too. So I'm, all right. I don't know if I'm going to take it, but definitely, piques my interest.
I had to
Sean.
make my case on
definitely
it.
Definitely piques my interest. So,
do you guys go ahead, or I was just gonna get into Dallas a little bit if you wanted
ahead,
to.
Bro.
I was just gonna say, you guys see Dallas. No, obviously last year 12-5. They played in that division. They lost Amari Cooper. Obviously, he's going to Cleveland. He's gonna team up after 11 games with Deshaun Watson. Man, 11 games seems like an eternity. I'm sure it's going to seem like forever for Watson. He'll probably still be getting some massages on the off time. But anyway, 12-5 Dallas was. Dak, we know who he is. We've seen him at Mississippi State. We've seen him on Dallas his whole career. And, what are we going to get from him? He's he's a good quarterback. I think that it just depends on CeeDee Lamb, right? And how much better he's going to keep getting. And, just pretty much Ezekiel Elliott, what's he going to do? Is he going to be, he's getting older. He's got more miles on his tires, on his legs. And I just think that, is he going to be, the main guy that's going to get 1,000 yards this season? It's going to come a lot to, the line and the running game, in my opinion, because I think Dak, we see what we got from him, and I think defenses are going to be kind of, catching on to McCarthy's plan and their plan and whatnot. I just think that it's going to be, if their defense is going to hold up and if the running game is going to be able to, produce. And I think that's going to be the story of Dallas. And just, if they're going to beat up on this division or what. Now that I think about it, Sean, you might be, kind of selling me a little bit on Philly. The Commanders, are you going to try to sell me on Carson Wentz? Because I can't be sold on him, man. He's just, he was supposed to be promising, and he's decent. But how many picks is he going to throw per game? 2, 1.5?
Mm-hmm.
I'd set it at 1.5 over half every game, guys. What do you guys think?
Going back to Dallas, they have Tony Pollard as a dual threat running back. So you have that. So, if Ezekiel Elliott needs to take rests, you have someone who's a definite starter on any other team in Tony Pollard. My concern is the health of their receivers. Like CeeDee Lamb is injury prone. Michael Gallup has been injured in the past couple of seasons. So if those guys can't stay healthy, you can't rely on just Dalton Schultz, at tight end to carry you. But I'm pretty sure, I think they still have a decent offensive line, to where, Dak can have some time to make things happen. But, we'll see. Dallas, their defense is pretty good. They were 2, 4, 6, 7th in the league last year and giving up points at just over 21 points a game. So, their defense is pretty good too. Especially
they added Anthony Barr, UCLA's finest.
Right. And then they have the guy, they have the guy who couldn't cover his own ass, but then he's at the right place at the right time to get
the most overrated
interceptions.
Cornerback in NFL history.
Mm-hmm.
Most interceptions. Gave up the most yards, the most penalties. It just happened to work out that way.
Right. Unbelievable. So, defense aside, that they do give up some yardage, but as far as points, they keep the ball out of the end zone too. So if they can do that, they can still play some consistent defense. I'm still rolling with Dallas. I do like what you guys are saying about Jalen Hurts and then the Eagles and stuff, but I look at Jalen Hurts and then I see Tua. Like I just don't. I think they both need another year to progress. So I mean, I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong because I don't like to see Dallas every single year just kind of just scoot on by, and then everyone Skip Bayless and everyone's like, oh my God, Super Bowl, and of course they lose in the first and second round every single year. So we'll see. Going to be an exciting division, but the Commanders, I don't know. I still like.
They're going to be. First of all, I don't want to say they're going to be playing with heavy hearts. Obviously, we know what happened. What was it last night? I think with
yesterday.
Robinson,
yeah.
He got shot, I think, in an apparent car robbery or car theft.
Yeah. 2 people tried to carjack him. Lower extremities, though. Thank God.
In stable condition, but they're going to be playing with, with a lot of pride going into those first games.
Any gunshot wound, I don't care if it's below the waist. You hit that femoral artery and you're dead in 5 minutes. Like that. So it's pretty scary. But they still have some weapons. Carson Wentz, if he stays healthy, if he can be protected, Antonio Gibson, Terry McLaurin is still, I think, a top 12, top 15 wide receiver. Yeah. He's still pretty good. Logan Thomas, if he can stay healthy, he's a decent tight end. So I mean,
They drafted that rookie Dotson too, the receiver. He's actually pretty freaking good too.
From Penn State.
Yeah, they got some pretty good players. No doubt about it. It's just I think what Mark said. Wentz.
But with Wentz, he's obviously kind of a veteran, if you can say that. But I think at the end, again, it's going to be like Miami. If they are going to get better, is it going to be this year? It's going to be a building season for them, I believe. Kind of like Miami. It's going to be another division where they're going to be chasing another team, which I said, Miami's going to be chasing. I think the Commanders, they're going to improve a lot of that hanging on Wentz's shoulders, but I still think they're going to be chasing Dallas, as Mike said, and quite possibly Philly, like you said, Sean.
Right. And then, it doesn't help that they're bottom third in defense in every aspect. So if they don't improve there, if they can't stop teams from scoring, then they're not going to do shit anyway. So, I mean, all right, let's get to the you want to get to the Giants?
Oh, hold on.
All right. I'm excited about the Giants.
Let me shoot some. I just want to tell you, Dallas Cowboys 10.5 season win total.
Okay.
And the Philadelphia Eagles 9.5. So not too much of a variance there. It's pretty close. One game off. Would you let me ask you guys this real quick, since we're on these two teams, we think they're probably going to be the two better teams in the division. You can get to New York Giants for 2 minutes real quick, but would you rather take?
Do we do that?
Would you take the under in Dallas 10.5 or the over in Philly 9.5? Gun to the head.
I'd rather take the.
Do I basically take Jalen Hurts?
Okay.
To win 10 games.
Because when you say that, it's like 10 games.
Or Dak Prescott to win 10 games.
I think that
Cowboys choking.
I'd have to look at the strength of schedule, but if they both beat up on the Giants and the Commanders, I see both of them over. So your question, I'd rather take the Philadelphia Eagles at an over 9.5.
Yeah, that's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyways, Mark, going back to the Giants, besides the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans, they were by far the worst team in the league offensively. I don't see any kind of improvement, maybe in the running game, but if they just stack the box with Saquon Barkley, who knows how healthy he's going to stay this season. So
7.5 is their win total.
Yeah, they need a quarterback real bad, man. They actually have like a half-decent roster. Like when you actually look at it, you actually put a half-decent name at that quarterback position, just naturally like, okay, you at least got something to work with. No one in the world has faith in Daniel Jones. Sorry, North Carolina. He's not the finest.
I did when he was drafted, too. I did like him, but... I was in his camp, rooting for him at least. I thought that he had a
good
chance.
Way to put it. I was rooting for him.
I mean, does he even get to week 5, 6 before Tyrod Taylor is called? Does he even get that far?
I don't know if Tyrod wants to be on that. He'll get murdered.
Right.
I mean, they do got an exciting, young, obviously rookie, and obviously he's with an injury. I don't even know if he's going to start.
Kadarius Toney.
Kayvon Thibodeau, the defensive end, the highly
coveted from Oregon. Yeah, and they also had a rookie receiver. I forgot what his name was. He tore his ACL, unfortunately. Receiver. He actually was
Wandale Robinson.
No, it wasn't him.
Marcus
They actually
Kemp.
had
Or Colin Johnson.
Can't think what the heck. There it is right there. Yeah. Yes.
Who?
Colin Johnson's his name?
Yeah, Colin Johnson, yeah.
They said literally he was like undrafted possibly, or a super late pick, maybe not even going to make the team.
Yeah, round 5 from Jacksonville, actually. He went to Texas, yeah.
They said he literally was like the best player like in camp at the wide receiver position, but unfortunately toward his ACL, man, bad luck.
Yeah, I mean, Daniel Jones.
New York Giants.
Kenny Golladay, I mean, as your number one.
Oh God, he's done. He's
Sterling
done.
Shepard. I mean, like, is this the Giants 6 years ago, or is it 2022? What is this? So, sorry, I got nothing for you.
The New York Giants are just one of those teams that are still trying to find their way after one of the Manning brothers have left.
Yeah.
Right. You can say that about, Indianapolis. Andrew Luck did what he could for them, eventually, retired. You could say that about New York Giants after Eliza left. And you can pretty much say that about the Broncos, right? Let's ride. They're trying to get that swag back with Russell Wilson. We're obviously going to get into that later, too. But just one of those teams still trying to find their stride after the Manning brothers, man. We know how big quarterback play is in this league, and that's just another reason that proves it right there.
I'm going to say this before we get to the division, obviously, but if Andrew Luck was still there and they still had the means to draft their offensive line they currently have and the defense and Jonathan Taylor, I'm telling you right now, the Colts would have won a Super Bowl in the last couple years. I'm telling you.
They'd be competing. Now, that'd be just a monster AFC, three-headed dog. Josh Allen, the Bills, Mahomes, and the Colts. That
right.
Fireworks.
Right. So I'm just throwing that out there. So let's give our picks. We might be split on this one. So NFC East, Sean, go ahead for the division.
Let's go Philly. Fly, Eagle, fly.
Mark.
I'm gonna let's ride with Sean, man.
All right. And then
I wasn't gonna do it, but it's kind of I don't know if I'm so much sold on Hurts like Sean was saying, but I will say this: they do have Gardner Minshew laying in the wings.
Hey,
and
contingency plan.
And, the coach, some of the players, the continuity from last year, kind of building on that together as a team. I think that's going to be pretty exciting. Plus, you know how those Eagle fans are, man.
Right.
I heard I heard they had like a police station or like a jail right in the stadium or something.
Absolutely, that's
100%
because it's like a holding cell. It's like a drunk tank. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
in the stadium itself,
right.
Huh?
So I'm going to go with a team that, even though they've had a couple injuries at wide receiver and they lost Amari Cooper, I mean, that probably had something to do with it, but I'm going to go ahead and take the team that actually scored over 30 points a game, most in the NFL last year, Dallas Cowboys, 31.2 points per game of offense. So I'm going to go with them to repeat as division champions and first or second round losers. That's what I'm going with.
I like that.
All right, let's move up.
Sorry,
right,
Dallas.
Let's move up north to the AFC South, a different looking AFC South, right? Cincinnati might be one of the favorites with Baltimore. Pittsburgh, are they really going to get last place this year? Like, this is a very different, potentially looking AFC North. So what say you guys about this division?
That young Cincinnati team, bro. I mean, it's kind of easy. Oh, they went to the Super Bowl last year. I'm not just picking them because of that. They're actually just a damn good team. They have that three-headed monster between Burrow, Higgins, and, of course, Jamar Chase, who can catch the football. We learned that last year. All those freaking draft people saying he can't catch the ball. No, the boy can catch and he can play. And, Joe Mixon, that's another stud on their team. As long as their offensive line doesn't let Burrow get killed, they'll be fine. That division, they got some good teams. Browns, but if the Browns actually had Deshaun Watson, you see that team, you're like, damn, Cooper, Chubb, Hunt, it's actually not that bad. Larry Watson's just, his own demise. And Baltimore's still Baltimore. I mean, yeah, they get rid of Marquise Hollywood Brown, but, Rashad Bateman, watch out for him. He's a first-round pick. Mark Andrews, and you got a healthy Lamar Jackson. I mean, J.K. Dobbins is back this year, too. So, there's still tough games. Going to Philly, yeah, they have no quarterback. But it's just something about you're still going to Steeler Nation. You still got to go against the Watt brother on the defensive line. So Man, it's a tough division, but I think Cincy's definitely one step ahead of all those teams.
Right, I'm going to add something to Cincinnati too. Their NFC division this year is the South, so you have definitely you could go at least 3-1 there with the Falcons, Panthers, and Saints, and then it's going to be a great matchup when that team goes to Tampa Bay in December. So it'd be nice and cool. It won't be like hot and humid as much as it would have been in like August and September. So that's going to be a good matchup between the young Joe Burrow and the old guy Tom Brady. Mark, what do you say about this division, man?
This division, it's kind of crazy to say that we're not going to spend as much time as we think talking about, Pittsburgh this year, right? Unfortunate turn of events that they had there with probably their projected number one starting quarterback there in Dwayne Haskins over the offseason. They obviously signed Maserati Mitch, and, I don't even know, maybe you guys are aware if they announced who their starter is, if it's going to be Mason Rudolph. Are they going with Maserati Mitch? I think it's going to be Rudolph because he's been in the system longer. Sean, I think you want to say something. Go ahead if you wanted to chime in. If it's going to be Mason Rudolph starting.
I think it's actually going to be Trubisky.
Oh, it is.
I think he has the lead in front of both of them. I mean, Trubisky still is that top 5 overall pick that, I mean, in a weird way, you kind of want to give him one more chance if you're a Pittsburgh Nation. I mean, I like Maserati Mitch, but I also don't want him to get his confidence destroyed ahead of time. He has a really young team, no offensive line. I mean, last thing you need is a rookie to go in there and just get his head knocked off. But we'll see.
The Super Bowl, the team that made it to the Super Bowl, the AFC, came out of this division last year. You look at it as a pretty weak division with only 2 teams over 500, and obviously, which is crazy, one of those teams being Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, they pick up Kenny Pickett. He's the quarterback.
That's what I meant. Don't start Pickett.
Okay, so you're right. They're gonna start the quarterback, the rookie from Pennsylvania.
I heard he's right there with Trubisky right now.
Okay, so poor Mason Rudolph, man. He's gonna be one of those quarterbacks, great in college, highly drafted, but one of those quarterbacks to come out of his draft year, highly renowned, right? Kind of like wanted to propel himself, kind of learn from Ben Roethlisberger, put himself in the wings. Poor guy doesn't get a chance right now. All this happens. He got a chance. I mean, I guess you can say he got a chance, but did he produce as well as he should have? Obviously not to Mike Tomlin's liking. Here you go. Now you pick up Maserati, Mitch Trubisky, competing with him on top of the QB that they got from Pitt, which is the rookie that you're saying might be competing with Mitch Maserati to be, to be in, which is crazy because, they also got George Pickens from a wide receiver from Georgia, great wide receiver, but team's going to be learning, team's going to be adapting. I don't see them, it's hard to say because Pittsburgh is always going to be Pittsburgh. They always have something up their sleeve. I don't see it this year. I think it's going to be one of those years where they digress, they're learning, they're adapting to each other, and it's going to be, Baltimore or Cincinnati, but I'll also say this is going to be a year, like I said, with Josh Allen, our guy in Baltimore. He's going to have to prove himself.
Yes, sir.
Because he's getting to those years also where, okay, you're having your chance, you're doing your thing, we're believing in you, we're trusting you, you've won like 22 preseason games in a row or what have you, right? And, it's just Lamar Jackson, man, another highly renowned quarterback out of Louisville, but, let's see what he's going to do. I always give the nod to a John Harbaugh-led team, obviously great coach, and we're really going here with, the great coaches in this division seem that they're going to be the ones with the teams that are taking a little bit of a step back, if you will. But
what's his odds to win the MVP, mind you? Because I have some articles I've been reading that's saying that he's set to make a comeback.
He's 20-1.
Okay.
I mean, he's middle of the.
I'd give him. I'd give him good value there. I'd say that's a good. I'd say that's a good value pick. Right.
I'd give him more value than a Dak Prescott at 13-1, right? So
100%.
Right. So it's going to be interesting, if that team can stay healthy. But for me, just as just a weird kind of like, conspiracy, not conspiracy, but kind of like, I just can't pick Baltimore. I just can't pick Baltimore. Sometimes they say the raven, some people say it as like a bad omen, like if you see a lot of ravens flying above your house or on your lawn and stuff, something bad's going to happen. And not even their mascot can stay healthy. Their mascot, Poe, named after Edgar Allan Poe, like tore his ACL or whatever and had to be carted off the field, during like I don't know, I forgot if it was a mascot game or something like that, but yeah, that mascot can't even stay healthy. Sorry, man, I gotta roll with Cincinnati.
You know what though? It is kind of a tough division. What Sean said earlier. Jacoby Brissett. Is he he's going to be starting, right? Brissett.
He's going to be starting. Yeah.
Jacoby Brissett. He's doable. I wish that.
Is he now?
I mean, I don't care. You don't think so? He's another one of those guys that he goes to what happened in Indy, right?
He was Indy, went to Miami, stole the job from Tua for a couple weeks. I mean, you know what you're going to get, a good veteran who can kind of hold the fort down per se, but
he's also been put kind of in some bad situations himself, right? But he's serviceable, right? I'd say veteran type, serviceable. If Deshaun Watson was only going to be gone for like 5 or 6 games, like, at first they thought, or like it was presumed to be at first until the NFL hit him with 11. But I'd say if it was 5 or 6, I'd actually maybe even be looking to Cleveland, because I'd say that Brissett can win him 2 or 3 games, possibly.
That's all you have to do.
But now he's going to have to try, So, and then when Watson comes back, what are you going to expect, really, with 6 games left in the season? Hasn't played like all season. It's gonna be tough for Watson to come in and to try to adapt.
Absolutely, absolutely nothing too. I would say the football gods and karma is going to meet that team, and they're not going to do jack.
And what if
this year.
what if
Browns?
What if it's 11 games and they're like 7-4, 8-3? Do they even want to go to Deshaun Watson and finish off the season?
You gave him the most guaranteed money in NFL history.
True.
Yeah. You're gonna start the guy no matter what.
Stupid.
I mean, that guy.
That's what's exactly.
Place,
Thank you, Mike. That's what's so just dumb about
stupid. It's like
you can't fix stupid.
It's like weeks or months after hearing about the whole thing with Tyreek and Kansas City giving him an extension. The whole thing happened with his son and his baby mama, like threatening to kill her over the phone, her catching him on the phone and breaking the kid's arm or shoulder blade or whatever, punching him in the chest, and then all of a sudden Chiefs give him an extension. I don't understand some of these teams. I really don't. More Deshaun Watson than Tyreek Hill, because Tyreek Hill I think is actually like he's an asshole, but he's really good. Deshaun Watson.
But how come the punter from the Bills just nothing?
He's a rookie. He's a rookie. No offense, he's a rookie. He's expendable.
He was within his 90-day probationary period. Sorry, but we don't need a reason to fire you.
He wasn't a first-round pick. He hasn't won me a Super Bowl yet.
Because you know what the NFL comes down to, boys? It comes down to
dinero.
What are you going to do for me?
Yep.
It's
how much money
they don't care. It's like, is your talents outweighing and succeeding your problems, your issues?
How many chances did the Niners give Reuben Foster? How many chances did all these? We can go down the list, bro. Come on now.
Right.
Let's ain't go down the rabbit
Alden
hole.
Smith.
Oh, God,
he's going to break the freaking sack record like his rookie year, his second year in the league, and just because even though he yelled bomb at LAX, he still got a chance to play. But this guy who kicks a freaking ball for a living, he's a rookie. No thanks. That guy doesn't put ass in seats. Deshaun Watson, because of this whole story, and then maybe if Cleveland's actually okay by the time he comes back, that's going to put asses in seats and sell you tickets and sell you merchandise and everything. That right there, not this asshole in Buffalo. So. But Aaron on the chat right now, he's going Baltimore, Cincinnati, Cleveland, and Pittsburgh. As
Aaron loves Lamar.
His order. Lamar. What say you guys for the AFC North as we go to the NFC North?
Cincy, and then Baltimore will be a wild card team. I think it'll be close though, because I'm actually big on Lamar this upcoming season. But Cincinnati, man, I'm just loving the young firepower.
I agree. I'm going Cincinnati 1, just also because I have Joe Burrow as my starting quarterback for fantasy. But yeah, so I hope he does really well.
One pick ahead of me, asshole.
I know. Mark, what say you?
I'll ride with Cincinnati, man. Joe Burrow, I can't.
Truth,
man. Still haven't. Did he covered the Super Bowl, right? What was the score?
Yeah, it was a 1-score game.
Yeah, I think he covered the Super Bowl, right? Yeah, I mean, how could you go against the guy, man?
Dude, come on now, all this shit. Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah. He also throws touchdowns, even though there was a whistle, too. But they still count it too. So
there it is.
So, why you remind me? That was such a trash call, bro.
It's bullshit.
Right.
Just another reason. Just another
reason.
notch on the freaking belt.
Next division. Sean don't want to hear it.
All right. NFC North. Here we go. Aaron Rodgers carrying on the shoulders the Green Bay Packers, and then you have Kirk Cousins with Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, and Dalvin Cook over there in Minnesota. Are they going to finally overtake Green Bay this year? And then you have Chicago and the Hard Knocks team of. Actually, you know what? One of the stories is Detroit going to finish third this year? That's one of the stories. So what say you guys for the NFC North? Should be a quick one in my mind.
I'll answer your question. Yes, Detroit will finish third ahead of the Bears because they have the best offensive line, and I'd say one of the most underrated offenses in football.
There you go.
I think their running back can honestly be a top 5 running back in DeAndre Swift and his intangibles. If he stays healthy, he can run, he can catch, and he can just outright just play football the right way. Of course, Jamal Williams is good. Hawkinson's good. Amari St. Brown, I think that's his name. He's a freaking stud receiver. So, I mean, I think there's just something there. They're not going to surpass third place. Jared Goff also, you got to see how he does. But you have one of the best offensive lines in football. Like, they're marketing that when you watch, Hard Knocks and some of their preseason games. But it's actually legit. Like, they get pushed. They protect the quarterback. Just get something there. Kind of get that, attitude from your coach, man. That Dan Campbell, bro. Anyone would want to play under that guy, man. He, protects his players, likes to flame under their ass.
Right.
Division-wise, Minnesota.
It's
Minnesota's year.
All right.
It's Minnesota's year.
I mean, you have to think that, right? I mean, you have Aaron Rodgers and, Aaron Jones. It's like Lazard is serviceable, but, they don't have – I mean, come on now. It's
They got Sammy Watkins now, bro.
Who? Sammy Watkins, who's – what's this, his 4th or 5th different team? Clemson boy?
Green Bay's defense got better. I know, that's, the big thing everyone's talking about.
Right.
Their defense got better, which I think, for the most part, it did. But I'm just something about that team I don't think is going to click. I think it's going to these quarterbacks are getting a little older. That generation of the last couple of years, Breeze was out the door with Manning and them, and now it's, Brady, Rodgers, and, veterans, like them. I mean, there's going to be a point where Rodgers going to be like, damn, I don't have Devontae anymore. I mean, who the hell do I just throw the ball up to?
Mm-hmm. I mean, and they just didn't score any points last year. They were, bottom 8 in offense last year. So with what you're saying with the offensive line, but at the same time, you can give all the time in the world, but if someone can't throw to the receivers, or if they can't open any holes for a running back, and then I don't know. It's just it's going to be. I think it's going to be an improving year for the Detroit Lions. But, they still gave up the second most points per game last year at 27.5 points per game. They still can't stop anybody. So if they improve on, offense and defense, but I mean, when you look at just the stats from last year, okay, they can add they can add a couple guys, but, are those couple guys going to make a difference in you scoring more points and giving up less points is what my, thing is. So of course I hope that they get better. I hope that they get third place at least, but no, definitely think that those two teams in Green Bay and Minnesota are the teams to beat in this division.
Yeah, Minnesota, they were my default favorite team last year.
That's right.
To bet on.
Funny.
Just oh man, how many times did I send you guys that damn gif? It's just I bet on them, they lose. I bet against them, man, they win. It's just I could not figure that team out last year for the life of me. Obviously Devontae Adams has left Green Bay. He has departed to Las Vegas for better times in the silver and black. Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. Sean pointed out a very, very good fact. These quarterbacks of that, era just, getting a little bit up there in age, is basically Their defense got a little bit better. Is their draft picks going to make a difference this season? I'm not sure. I think that losing probably one of the most, if not the most efficient, that's to be determined. Was he that efficient? Vontae Adams, I'm talking about, was he that efficient because Aaron Rodgers was his quarterback? Or, is he just that good? Sean shaking his head. Yes,
He's the best receiver in football. He is the best receiver in football. I do not care what anybody says from an all-around standpoint. And it's not even close. When you see his route running, it's not even close. He is the best receiver in football.
It's like the
old
AC/DC
Justin
song.
Jefferson.
The old AC/DC.
Oh, it's not
who
even
made
close
who?
To me. Oh, yeah, I think Devontae is everything in a bag of chips, man.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, Lazard, Sammy Watkins got a lot of, tread on his tires as well. I just, they really outbeat. I mean, I think they were the only team to be 500, right? They were 10-7, 13-4. That's right, dude. That one loss to the Niners in the snow, man. If their defense is beefed up, they better learn to play at home in the snow against the 49ers. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, dude.
That's right. 13-4 with a 7-point, damn near great winning percentage. Minnesota 8-9, Chicago 6-11, Detroit 3-13. What can we say about them? Sean, Mike, let's get into Chicago real quick. Niners play them first game on the road, right?
Trap
in
game.
Chicago, trap game.
With Fields,
but I think the Niners are like a 6-point favorite in that game as well. Although I can see, Chicago winning that. Not winning. I mean, I can't actually see them winning, but I can't see them covering at that. So that might be one of my early leans. I might have just given it away. But Chicago, Trey Lance coming in there first week. I don't know, but what do you guys have on Chicago real quick? I think losing Khalil Mack, I don't know. He was real good, I think, when he first went to Chicago, if you will. But I think he was kind of losing his edge in Chicago the last, couple seasons. Probably fighting some injuries as well. But, I just can't. It's hard for me to believe in Chicago, man. It really is.
They have a solid young, like, something to look forward to, right? On offense, right? They got the kid David Montgomery. It's his 4th year out of Iowa State. What's his name is Mooney, his 3rd year out of Tulane.
Nice.
Byron Pringle, his 5th season. It's like they got some good young talent. Justin Fields is serviceable, but maybe just not enough in this division, at least not enough for Minnesota. I mean, I honestly think, they still have Roquan Smith, that they didn't trade him. They were looking for a trade this offseason. I'm not sure. I think they're going to be battling with Detroit for last place, 3rd place, but they have a bright-ish future.
I think that they actually can be battling for 2nd place, dude. I really believe that. I think it's going to be either Green Bay or Minnesota kind of pull away, such as last season. But I think that one of those teams is kind of going to regress. And I think that Chicago is kind of going to be that sneaky team to kind of, fight for that 2nd place spot, right? I don't know what team, if it's going to be Green Bay or Minnesota. I think Sean likes Minnesota, obviously. Mike, you might be leaning Green Bay, or are you leaning Minnesota?
Probably Minnesota. Just absolute fire. As long as Kirk Cousins doesn't shit the bed and just screw up the whole season. Exactly. Absolutely. There's no doubt in my mind and no reason why they should not win that division. This is the time to strike. What's his name? Aaron Rodgers is getting older. He lost not only Devontae Adams, but Valdez Scantling is a decent wide receiver, like a good number 2, number 3 receiver. Aaron Jones, I don't know, but and then Chicago, like what I was saying about the young offense up and coming. I mean, they were like 5th to last in scoring points last year too. So, I'm not really. I don't have any confidence. I have more confidence in Detroit than I do in Chicago. Actually, that's my opinion. Not because and I didn't even watch Hard Knocks. It's not the whole like getting fired up and stuff. I just think that Jared Goff is better than Justin Fields, not by a lot, but I think he's better. So I think this is finally the time to strike. I'm not going to pick Green Bay to win the Super Bowl, or go to the Super Bowl like I did last year. I had Green Bay and I had Green Bay and Buffalo.
Or Buffalo.
I had Buffalo. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Minnesota. That's my pick.
Nice. Same. Go Minnesota. I think the only question mark with Minnesota is having the new coordinator, head coach, the Rams coordinator, but that's also going to be a dream for Justin Jefferson, and it could rejuvenate Adam Thielen's career. I mean, Dalvin Cook's still Dalvin Cook, and I know they have, I think it's Kasim Osgood, another upcoming receiver. I mean, what Mike said, as long as Kirk Cousins doesn't shit the bed, there's no reason why they don't win it this season.
And I think that they can sweep the Bears, they can sweep the Lions, and then their NFC division is the East. So you got the Commanders, you have the Giants,
at least two wins,
and you can definitely compete and beat with Dallas and Philadelphia.
Cowboys, Eagles, yeah.
Easy, man. They got they have the Dolphins. Their AFC division is the East, but there's Jets and Dolphins probably wins, and then you compete with oh yeah, dude. I say definitely for sure Minnesota takes the division this year. 8-9, they're under 500, second place last year, so they have a second place schedule, and they were below 500. I think they're the ones to pull away, and Green Bay kind of maybe stick there because it's always Aaron Rodgers. You never know. He doesn't make like any mistakes. And I think he's also one of those quarterbacks who's going to make everyone around him better. But I do think they don't go like 13-4. I think they might have 6 losses this year, Green Bay, and in second place. And a wild card team, though. I think they still probably make the playoffs.
To add to what you said about with Detroit, Mike, real quick, to give some love to the Motor City fans out there, I will say, although, I would probably take, the guy from Cal over, Justin Fields. And then again, another thing is another team that's going to have to click, but it's going to be a fun, interesting team to watch. You obviously got the defensive end from Michigan and Aiden Hutchinson, probably one of the best, if not, highly touted best defensive players last year to be drafted. Jamison Williams, a wide receiver from Alabama. So there, that's a weapon for Goff. So it's going to be a fun and exciting team to watch. Is Patricia going to get it together this year? That's like,
I think he's trying to be Bill Belichick. It's just a slob walking up and down the sidelines.
Hopefully, what's his name? Not McCarthy. McDaniels can be closer to Bill Belichick than Patricia.
Yeah.
So.
I think he's just trying to look like him. Not coach like him. He's just a slob up and down the sidelines. But our boy Aaron, who looks to be one of the only ones in the chat tonight, he thinks it's going to be same as usual, except Detroit takes third place over Chicago. He's picking the Packers still to win the division over Minnesota Vikings. So let's give our final pick and move on down to the South. I'll take Minnesota as well.
Hard for me to trust Kirk Cousins, but it's another year, right? It's a Lamar Jackson. It's show me this year, because you're on your last straw, not just with me, your default fan, but with the real fans up there in the North. So show us what you can do, Mr. Cousins.
All right.
Michigan State's finest.
So that's halfway through all the divisions in the NFL, and so far the only thing that's different between all three of us is that I'm taking Dallas to win the NFC East, while Sean and Mark are picking the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's roll on down to the South. The AFC South, we have the Indianapolis Colts, Houston Texans, Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Tennessee Titans. So anything fantasy-wise or just anything jump out at you, Sean, about this division this year?
Well, you did say the key word fantasy-wise when talking about this division. You did have the number one player in Jonathan
Taylor.
You, of course, got Derrick Henry. I think you have a second-year stud, fantasy-wise, possibly, and Trevor Lawrence. They added a couple weapons over there, and of course, Etienne is back. He's just a damn good kid. He has weapons there. I'm hoping there's a nice connection between Lawrence and Etienne. And of course the sleeper who everyone's like, damn, this kid can play after a couple preseason games. Davion Pierce, I believe is his name, the running back in Houston. Good old Lovie Smith, got himself a couple little toys over there. Yeah, Houston's going to probably be Houston, but trading Deshaun, you basically said, hey, give us 3 to 5 years. Collected some first-round picks. You drafted that cornerback from LSU. You got a little Band-Aid quarterback, and I forgot what that kid's name is. Same guy as last year. Man. I can't
for the,
think what it is
the
right
Texans.
Now. Yeah.
It's shit. What's his name? I just had it on the tip of my tongue. I just saw him on the thing too. It was Davis Mills.
Davis Mills, there you go. So, there's a couple, like, every team kind of has a couple things to look forward to, a couple, shiny new toys and stuff. But the division, it belongs to the Colts, in my opinion, no doubt about it. I think they got better with Matt Ryan. I mean, yes, he's older. I think he is definitely a notch up from Carson Wentz, has that experience of getting to the playoffs, getting to the damn Super Bowl. Right. He has a nice Michael Pittman, wide receiver, and that kid right there. So, offensive line is going to definitely help him a little bit, having a little bit more protection than the way you had in Atlanta.
Right. And who'd they have under the helm last year? Who was their quarterback last year? It was Wentz. That's right. And they were ninth, and they were ninth in the league in scoring. They still scored over 26.5 points per game. So you can only assume that if you're saying Matt Ryan is better, I think they're only going to get better. Tennessee Titans, like middle of the pack. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did Derrick Henry get hurt last year though?
Derrick Henry broke his foot or had some sort of injury that resulted in a foot surgery. Yet he finished top 10 in every running back category.
Unbelievable. Now Tennessee and Indianapolis, they do have two really good stingy defenses. Tennessee giving up just over 20 points a game, and Indianapolis just over 21 points a game. So some stingy defense. Both of them look to be top 10 continuing into this season. So it's going to be a close battle. I think closer than some people, because I think, I don't know, something about Tannehill.
I know you don't like
something
him.
about Matt Ryan just being a little bit older, and something about Tannehill just being like just a guy who just doesn't make a lot of mistakes and just does enough to win, with the defense and the running game and everything. Oh man.
Don't say it.
I don't know.
I'm telling you, Willis, that little rookie quarterback from Tennessee, is breathing down, Tannehill's neck. So, I mean.
Right. I mean, dang it. And they still have what's his name too, right? They still have. Oh no. They added Robert Woods. So yeah. I mean,
Sean. It was an addition. It was an addition by subtraction. Right. I mean, I don't even say it's much of an addition. They lost AJ Brown, but they picked up an ACL tear, Robert Woods, who will be ready out here for week 1, week 2. So
Austin Hooper and everything. Woods. But I mean, it's one of those things where it's like you can always say like certain teams are like stack the box on this guy and then make this guy throw. Like it doesn't matter if they stack the box. Derrick Henry is a freaking freight train. He's a Mack truck that's just going to blow over you anyways. So this is going to be a lot closer than what other experts may say this year. I would still probably take Indy by about a game or two, but Tennessee's gonna be on their ass.
Yeah, dude. To elaborate on Indianapolis, man, and I think I've seen enough of Matt Ryan and Boston College's finest, but I'd say, BC, before Christ, that's about when this guy was born.
Oy.
I just, this guy just, last year, just him standing in the pocket, he's just a statue out there to me, man. It's really hard for me to, take this guy real serious and just, I don't know, man. I just don't think that was a great move by Indy. I get it, kind of a veteran guy, but I just don't see them really, him being the guy that's going to propel them and progress them to the next stage. It's kind of like a bridge year, right? They're just getting ready for the next guy. Are they just going to keep being that team that just keep getting guys 1-2 year contracts and moving on to, it's so hard to find a quarterback in this league. I just don't know if, Matt Ryan is going to, do it for them. I don't know, dude. Jonathan Taylor, obviously great guy. You got Pittman Jr., you're a guy from USC. I think he's a good weapon, Are these guys gonna get open? Is the line gonna block? The defense, Gus Bradley over there. You got Ngakoue that left the Raiders to go and join their defense. So, I don't know. We'll see how they do. I just I don't know, man. This division, a lot of people got the Colts winning it. Is that because they're better, or is just people just aren't believing in these other teams? Obviously,
right.
I mean, I think it's just they're not believing in these other teams. It could be one of these divisions that Indy might be the only team that's going to go over 500, right? But man, I don't know. I think this division that they're dealing with a Carson Wentz is probably, just as good as a Matt Ryan. If I don't know. I'm really not a Matt Ryan believer. Sorry, but I think Jacksonville can only go up. I mean, I think Houston can only go up, and just he probably is Indy's division to take, but it's probably going to be an ugly division to watch, really.
I completely agree. I mean, and then if Matt Ryan gets hurt, you got Nick Foles waiting in the wind. I mean, how good are their chances if he, if he's going to play? So let's just get to it. What do you guys take? A couple guys are chiming in on the chat. You got Aaron going with the Colts, and then the Jaguars, second place, in front of the Tennessee Titans. So Trevor Lawrence, he's banking on him, and also banking on the fact that Tennessee, just doesn't have the weapons that they used to. He is kind of contrary to what I'm thinking. Is he? Derrick Henry is stack the box. He's like Teflon. It doesn't matter what you do, what kind of scheme you dial up against him, he's going to produce. He's going to move those chains. So what do you guys think about the AFC South?
I'm going to pick Indy. I think definitely what Mark said, Jacksonville can't go anywhere but up. And I think they actually will have a decent amount of wins, and they're going to be competing a lot this year. But second place, Tennessee still.
Okay, Mark?
I'll probably, I'll go with Tennessee, man. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. It's kind of hard for me to give Tannehill the benefit of the doubt once again, but, he was horrible in that, playoff game. But
Mark, I'm going to go with your boy Clay Travis's team. I'm going to roll with you, and I'm going to go with Tennessee Titans as well to win the division.
Yeah.
I'll go Tennessee, and I actually do like Jacksonville,
like
man.
They're right there in offense, even though they lost, Brown. They're right there in defense as well. I think Tennessee might have the slight edge in defense, and I just don't trust Matt Ryan to be healthy for 17 games this year. His offensive line is still good. He's got a running game to fall back on, but if he gets in any kind of trouble, if he has to run outside the box at all, I don't know. I'm kind of scared for that. Halfway through the season. So, all right, let's go.
Who's
wait. There's more.
What's up?
No, because we said Doug Peterson was the coach for Philly. He's not. He got traded, or not traded, but he got signed.
Doug Peterson's Doug Peterson. I'm sorry, Doug Peterson is with Jacksonville.
Yeah, he's the Jacksonville coach.
Yeah, I forgot. They have a new head coach though, also in Philly. I can't think what the hell his name is. Yeah, he was from Philly.
So what I'm saying, actually, no wonder Aaron is actually talking about Jacksonville here,
right?
Because we were thinking that Philly was going to have this coach. He's actually going over to Jacksonville. And before I actually found this out, I just mentioned that I actually do kind of like Jacksonville. Like I said, they can only go up. You got Trevor Lawrence one more year. You got a coach that, they obviously got that stink of Urban Meyer and just that dirty laundry, just out of there now, right? So it's a fresh beginning, fresh team with a non-rookie quarterback now, got 1 year under his belt. And I think, like I said, it's going to be hopefully they're funner to watch this year. And, the off-field stuff, the on-field stuff, is way better than the off-field stuff, Hopefully they don't have off-field stuff this year. And,
it's going to be exciting just to see if they can stop anybody. But the young squad, they got the two Clemson kids, and then they got, Christian Kirk is cool. He was good in Arizona. Marvin Jones is on the older side, but he's still serviceable. Zay Jones. And then if Evan Ingram can stay healthy, he's a really good tight end, I think. So, I think you're right. I still think it's going to take another year, and they'll be in third. I think they'll be above Houston, but yeah, we'll see. I just don't think they're going to stop anybody. They were like bottom two in both categories, offense and defense last year, so they couldn't score, and also they couldn't stop anybody from scoring. So, all right, let's go to the NFC South. This should be a quick one. This should be probably the quickest division that we cover tonight. So, anything to offset Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking the division? Anything?
No, and I don't want to waste time on, Jameis has Michael Thomas back and Olive, the rookie receiver. Yeah, they're cool. Like, I like them. but I'm not even going to invest too much time in this. Tampa's going to win that division. It will be
Baker
by at
Mayfield,
least 3
no.
games.
Carolina,
Oh,
no.
Stop it. No more than 7 wins that team gets.
What about Atlanta? They got rid of Matt Ryan.
Marcus
Marcus
Mariota.
Oh, because the Flying Hawaiian's going to definitely carry them to 4 wins. He might even finish the season.
Come on, man. It might be Desmond Ridder, the QB.
I like Ridder.
Come on, man.
I like Ridder.
I mean, he
Cincinnati?
did propel Cincinnati to the Final Four last year in their respective college football.
I don't think Cincinnati faced Tom Brady, though.
Yeah, but it's just crazy.
I mean, he should be starting by midseason. I mean, you get Mariota as your starting quarterback, you're putting a Band-Aid. You're just kind of getting ready for the future.
Don't sleep. Why are you sleeping on Mariota?
Huh?
What do you
Why are you
what do you mean sleep? What do you think he's going to accomplish on that team?
I think he's probably better than Matt Ryan.
Okay, sleeping though. But the thing is, we're talking about who's going to win the division. He's not going to make the wild card.
Okay, well.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'm just talking about exciting, whatever, up and coming.
Oh no, I like Mariota, but at the same time, like that team's just
to win the division. Yes. Okay. Yeah. You're right.
That team's tough, man. That team's just. I mean, they have a young receiver. God, the rookie
Drake London.
His name. We talked about him yesterday. Yeah,
and they picked up Bryan Edwards from the Raiders. He's okay, but Cordell Patterson is your running back. I mean, come on now, Marcus Mariota. I mean, they have Kyle Pitts.
They're down there with the Houston Texans with the 4.5 win total,
right?
The lowest in the league.
There it is.
Maybe if Kyle Pitts goes in there under center and quarterbacks, maybe. With Young Ho Koo.
Maybe Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley gonna be betting on more games.
So come on, man. No, nothing for Crab's legs. Nothing's got anything for Brady.
Nothing. It's all Brady. It's all Tampa.
So the easy road.
And Godwin might not even miss any games after his injury last year. He might not. I think he's going to be ready for week 1.
Do they sweep the division?
No, you'll probably find there'll be one game. I pick Saints. It's always that Saints game. There'll be one where the Saints are just firing. Jameis might outscore them. You might get the Jameis for 4 touchdowns instead of the Jameis for 4 interceptions. And that's
because the
fine,
defense
though.
is still good too. The Saints were top 4 in the league last year, gave up less than 20 points a game. They might split that, right? If they go into the dome, because I think that happened last year. Didn't Tom Brady? Oh, that's the one where he tried to call timeout, but that was his 4th timeout or whatever. He made that mistake.
Yeah.
So they did lose last year, in New Orleans. So I mean, but Carolina and Atlanta, they both can't score any points. They're both bottom 4 in points scored. Even the Saints are bottom 5 last year in points scored. They only scored 21.5 points a game last year. So, not even close. I'm not even gonna say close. I'm gonna say maybe
Dennis Allen is their coach, man. That says something.
Right. I mean, he was amazing in Oakland, but I mean,
as a coordinator.
No, I'm totally joking. So, Sean, I'm assuming this is a sweep.
Stop it.
Assuming this is a sweep, right, Mark?
I mean,
does Matt Rule and Baker really not have anything?
I mean, we're going to be there actually in October for a friend's wedding. I actually wanted to extend the trip another day and a half. I wanted to go to
They're playing
Tampa at home the weekend that we're there. I really wanted to say, but of course we couldn't do it, because, got a family and kids I got to get back to, so.
That's the high mark. Yeah. Because if you have a healthy McCaffrey, which he hasn't been the past 3 seasons, I mean, high mark, 8 wins. And that might be even pushing it to be quite honest.
I mean, you know what? To tell you the honest truth, I haven't been as this great episode of the Comic Bookies podcast is going on, by the way, brought to you by Treasure Island Comics in Fremont, California. Make sure you check out Alex each and every week for the best comics that are on the market, the hottest ones, the most collected ones, and the best back issues. But man, now that we're going forward in this, in this episode, it seems like a lot of these divisions are going to be kind of trash, man. And, they're talking about the AFC West, obviously great division, right? But it's like, man, are these divisions really going to be that trash? We've already talked about a lackluster AFC South. Right now we're talking about a crappy-ass NFC South. A very, kind of lackluster but somewhat exciting NFC North. The AFC North, without Deshaun Watson, what are they going to do? But, And then the
Just
NFC,
those bad teams aren't there yet. That's what it is. I mean, Jacksonville's almost there.
There's no division besides the one. There's no divisions besides the ones in the West that it looks like there's going to be 3 teams competing, right? That's why we saved the best for last. But I mean, it's just crazy as we're progressing into this episode, and it's wild that kind of crappy teams, sucks. A lot of teams with new draft picks, a lot of teams making moves, and man, hopefully the Raiders can find some continuity, right? Do something, but
we're gonna be talking about them next. Don't you worry,
buddy. Let's go to the AFC West. So we got to probably the 2 best divisions in football. Let's go to the AFC West. So you have the Chiefs, the reigning, division champions, the reigning, well, actually not reigning. They lost to the Cincinnati Bengals, I believe, in the AFC Championship game. So, yeah, I mean, and then the Raiders, they improved. I think they were 10-7 last year with that wild game where they could have just knelt it a bunch of times, and them and the Chargers could have made the playoffs, but they ended up going and winning actually Mark and Sean, I think, tied for first, I think, last year in the TCB Super Contest, leaving me by myself in last place because I picked against the Raiders. But just a crazy year. I think every team, maybe even except Kansas City, got better. I think every team got better. Like Denver still has a stout defense. They added Russell Wilson, and like we all know, ever since John Elway left the Broncos, they haven't been able to draft a quarterback for shit. They had to go out and get Peyton Manning, and then they took them to 2 straight Super Bowls, 1 win, and now they didn't do diddly poo as far as quality quarterbacks. And what do? They go out and they get Russell Wilson. So what does that mean? Within the next couple of years, they're going to another Super Bowl? Maybe. We don't know. Don't know. So, but I will say this. The Chargers scare me too, because they have the offense, Keenan Allen, Eckler, Williams, Herbert, of course, is just continuing to improve at the quarterback position. And then, they just add Khalil Mack. They add J.C. Jackson. I have a fun little stat on J.C. Jackson. Since 2020, he has 17 interceptions.
Stop
the
it.
Chargers.
Most interceptions.
The Chargers since 2020 have 17 interceptions. So just him coming over doubles their amount of interceptions since 2020.
Crazy, bro.
Yeah, no, it's freaking crazy. So they did just lose somebody though, right? Didn't somebody just get hurt for the season for that team? For the Chargers,
I didn't see the name Derwin James, Khalil Mack, Bosa, or J.C. Jackson, so it might be a
right. Yeah, it didn't matter.
No, I won't say no. I won't say nobody. I don't want to go down that route. But you said it best, bro. Best division in football, and I'm actually just literally staring at every team. In my mind's going like 100 miles an hour because it's just like they got better, and they definitely got better. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. KJ Hamler, Jerry Jeudy teaming up there with Russell Wilson
and Cortland Sutton.
They lost Patrick, but that was probably their big injury.
Melvin Gordon still with the workload there.
It's definitely Javonte. Melvin Gordon is gonna piss some Javonte owners off this year, but that's who we need to look out for in Denver.
Mm-hmm.
And they got Ozagibo, right, from Nebraska. I mean, I saw him do some work down there in college, so he can fill in some holes, or if there's an injury. So, man,
Sean,
I can see why.
No, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. I was just gonna say I can see why Broncos are kind of high on a lot of people's lists, but that again, that's on paper, right?
Right.
So
I mean, Denver got a winner. That's why that's one of those things where it's like, oh, J.C. Jackson, they got the interception, and of course he's a good player, but like especially in the most important position, hardest position in sports. And we see what happens to teams when they go and get that guy. Denver got a winner. They got a Super Bowl MVP caliber, league MVP caliber player.
At this age?
Is he still that, though?
I mean, 33 years old. He definitely rushes a lot less. I've seen a stat that he went from like 7 rushes a game, which I don't know how many times he extended the third down against a Niner team and got a first down. So he's definitely older. But, I mean, he's also just on one of those teams where it's like he may have never in his career had a receiving core like he does now. Everything you said, Mike, double trouble running back committee with Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon still very serviceable, and a stout defense in Mile High Stadium. I think Aaron, one of our loyal listeners, I think he says that they're a little bit overhyped, and I could see why people think that. But I do sometimes just get back to just like I've seen Russell Wilson for how many freaking years against my Niners, and this guy he's a winner, man, and that's what makes this division so damn hard.
Because he still could finish last.
And that's the crazy thing. So people are like, oh, see, but it's like they could finish last at what, 8 wins?
Right.
But then again, like, look at this damn division. Like, another team, I mean, people are going to hear from a diehard Niner fan. I think the Raiders are so damn good, and people are sleeping on this team. And I say sleeping on this team because I think there's a lot of people who justifiably have the attitude that Mike has because he's seen the same rerun for year and year. Something's going to go wrong. But I really think you add Devontae Adams, you add Chandler Jones, like they're like, hey, like,
right,
let's do it.
Let's put it this way though, Sean. They can add whoever the hell they want, but Vegas isn't impressed. Vegas is more on the, Vegas is thinking more like Mike
Chargers.
is. No, because I'll put it this way, and Mike's not going to want to hear this, but the MVP odds, Derek Carr has the lowest out of all 4 quarterbacks in the division.
That's great. I would take that. I would take that value.
I do like that. And on top of that, they have the lowest win total with every other team.
Christ.
Denver, KC.
Hold on. Is it 9.5?
Denver,
9?
Denver, KC, and freaking. Why am I drawing a blank? Chargers, LAC.
Go Chargers.
10.5. Raiders, 8.5.
I told you, man. It's that freaking strength of schedule,
we just
bro.
said, you might finish last with a 10. I mean, that's going to be history in the making. 10 wins and you don't make the freaking playoffs. Like,
what team would you take under out of those 3 that have pinned 10.5 win records? Which one would you take under? I actually like the Raiders, possibly to get 9. I like that.
I like the Raiders.
Had 10 wins last year.
Over. I think the Denver Broncos are going to finish under.
Broncos, unfortunately, with all the good things I said, you said you have to pick one.
So
unfortunately, probably have to go with the Broncos. I think the Chargers, like the Herbert's the truth.
But do the Broncos still got Fangio on the sideline?
No, they have a new coach
so
too.
So there's the little wrench in it. It's a brand new coach, new system to get into. So, but the Broncos, arguably the best defense. They're very stingy last year, top 3 in scoring. They only gave up less than 19 a game. But then there's Kansas City.
You said top 3 in scoring last year.
Defense. Sorry.
Scoring defense. Oh, no, that's fine.
Right,
that's
and then
fine.
Kansas City, they only gave up just over 20 points a game. But the Chargers, I think there's a reason why they got J.C. Jackson and Khalil Mack. Bottom 3 in giving up points. Defense. They gave up 27 points a game. They couldn't stop anybody. But there were times when the Raiders couldn't stop anybody too, as they were bottom 3rd in scoring defense last year. And then you just look at the offenses. I think all 3, those Chargers, Chiefs, and Raiders, they finished all like top 10 or 11 in yards per game. It's just unbelievable. Not points per game for the Raiders because I think they kind of dug themselves into holes sometimes and had to settle for some field goals as they're middle of the pack scoring. But Kansas City, 4th last year, scoring over 28 points, and then the Chargers scoring over 27 points, almost 28 points a game. So this is up in the air for me. I'm gonna enjoy it as much as I can, but I just think that I have a feeling that I'm just going to be slightly disappointed. Maybe we make a wild card. I don't see us winning the division, or maybe even making the playoffs. I just think that I'm going to be pissed off at the end of the year, and I'm going to be telling you guys that, look, we had like a top 8 roster in the NFL, and we didn't make the playoffs. That's my reasoning, just because I'm a realistic, pessimistic-ass Raider fan. On the other hand, our other Raider fan thinks it's going to be the Raiders. Thinks it's going to be Las Vegas, Kansas City, LAC, and Denver to go. That's the order that Aaron thinks is going to be in the division. For me, if I'm picking right now the AFC West, I'm still there's no reason why I can't pick Mahomes. They lost Tyreek Hill. They added Juju Smith-Schuster, another Trojan.
Scantling.
Right, and Valdez-Scantling from Green Bay. So, I mean, I'm going Kansas City still, especially with, they still have a good defense. And Mahomes is still young enough to where if the offensive line gets hurt or they can't protect him as well, he can still make plays happen as he moves around. So, going with the Chiefs, unfortunately.
You're 42-year-old, just to touch up. So a lot of people that might not be in tune, as I wasn't myself, we're all getting educated here on the Comic Bookies podcast. You're 42-year-old, Fullerton, California born, University of Davis educated, ex-offensive coordinator of the Green Bay Packers from 2019 to 2021,
ex-head coach of the Denver Broncos.
Mr. Nathaniel Hackett.
Yeah, Hackett. That's right.
There it is.
So I mean, he worked. He worked with Mr. Aaron Rodgers, and now he's coming over to Russell Wilson. So, man, I think you're kind of a little too down on Denver, man.
And also Aaron adds it's a very good stat, just like we added with J.C. Jackson with his stats and everything. Aaron says look up J.C. Jackson's stats versus head-to-head with Devontae Adams. He can't guard him. So when you talk about head-to-head, those 2 games against the Chargers, we'll see.
I think the problem with the Chargers, if they do the same, if their head coach decides to make the beyond dumb decisions that he made time and time again last year, they'll be their own demise.
Right.
They'll be the result of it. 'Cause, I mean, on paper, their roster, top to bottom, we all know that. But it's just, if you're going to be going for it on 4th down on your own 30, if you're going to be not calling timeouts when you should be, he made so many rookie coaching mistakes that's just, it was time and time again.
4th and 13 on their own 35.
Bro, and you're going for it. This isn't Madden. This ain't a video game.
That dude was wild.
You can't make this up, bro.
Right.
So that's what I'm talking about. That's one of this, there's no reason why. There's a reason why they didn't make the playoffs.
And there's one thing that I'm going to go back to Vegas, to our Raiders, that's going to give me more confidence in them. And it's funny because as I'm thinking it, as these words are coming out of my mouth, we have a comment coming in from Aaron that says, and I'm going to take the comment, but this is what I'm thinking as well, is that how many wins did we have last year? 10. And look what happened. Mm-hmm. Look what happened last year with Ruggs.
Mm-hmm.
And all the shit that happened to this team last year, still made it, 10 wins, still made it to the playoffs. We're one ass call, one, errant whistle away from beating the Bengals. We lost, I think, by 6 in that game, and there's the touchdown right there, the difference. Who knows? Could have gone either way. But the culture, they needed a culture change. So they bring in Josh McDaniel, they bring in the GM of the Patriots, just like a winning culture. So if you combine what we have on paper, on roster, and then we have the 10 wins already, and you add someone like that who can then hopefully keep these guys in line. There's no other, killing people in head-on crashes, posting videos of you, having guns and shit, just doing dumb shit, that gives me a little bit more confidence of if we stay on the, stay level-headed and stay out of trouble and do what we're supposed to do, then there shouldn't be any reason why we continue to get the 10 wins, maybe even 11, and actually compete for a division. So
it looks like they do respect McDaniels. I think McDaniels is reputable and respectable in the league himself, and I think the players and coaches respect him as well. And I don't see why not. They can't be as good as they were and have a record as good as they were last year. It's just a division is the X factor. I'm telling you, Herbert, that boy can get a little scary. If he starts clicking, and like Sean said, if his coach isn't a jackass, it's just a scary division, dude. It really is. It's just wild. It really is. Just think about all the quarterbacks in this division.
Right.
All top 10 quarterbacks.
It's crazy. Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
All top 10 quarterbacks, man. I mean, the one thing I wanted to add too, actually, which I think is just a big sign of respect and a big sign of we're going to trust this process. If the report comes out that the Raiders say, likely going to get cut, Leatherwood, yes, I think people are like, oh, another first rounder going to get cut. But I think I also step back that it's happening when the whole new regime comes in. They're just like, we're not taking shit.
Right.
We want the best players on the football field. So I actually respect it. It's not like John Gruden's still the coach and he cuts someone he drafted. No, this is McDaniel's that's not my guy.
Right.
I don't want him on my team. I don't give a damn if you're a first rounder or a 10th, whatever rounder. I want people who are going to help our team win. So when I seen that, I'm like, That's what I'm talking about right there. This guy wants to win.
Right, exactly. And like we're going to get to the division right after we make these picks for the AFC West, but to go to the NFC West with Cliff Kingsbury. When he came over, they had just drafted Drew Rosen. The very next year, sorry, I want my guy. Here, bring in Kyler Murray.
Peace.
Bye. I don't care that you just drafted him, 10th or 11th overall the previous year. I want my guy. I'm getting him. So, all right, let's make the pick for the AFC West. I've already said, unfortunately, I'm taking the Chiefs to repeat as division champs. I can't even say who I would take wild card. I mean, like, wouldn't that be the shit? How many extra wild cards we have? We have there's 3 or 4 wild cards now, right? 3.
Sean's licking at his chops to give this pick.
I mean, like what?
Man.
Wouldn't that be unbelievable if all 4 teams made the playoffs? that'd be pretty. I don't know how statistically that would work out because some teams have to beat some teams, within the division. But Mark and Sean, what do you say?
I'm just seeing every team and why I would pick them. I think literally I'm going to say one team, and it's like I'm saying with 1% confidence that I think the other guys can win too. Like I would say the Chiefs because they've done it the past couple of seasons. I'd say the Raiders because I actually think they have maybe the best roster in that division, next to the Chargers. But then I take the Broncos that have Russ. You have a case for all these freaking teams, man. But picking one, let's go with the Chargers. Let's say the Chargers get it right this season. Let's say.
Right. Mark,
I could be wrong, man, and I could be wrong.
This division is so hard, guys. Let me tell you, it's like you got teams that you want to pick that you feel like you got continuity with, especially like a Derek Carr teaming up with his old Fresno State Bulldog, wide receiver teammate over there with Devontae Adams. But then they're also learning a new system, a lot of new coaches, a lot of new regimes, right? And then you got the Chargers like Sean just picked. And again, not a new coach, second year. You got, second. Is it Herbert's second or third year?
No,
second.
Third.
Third?
It's at least third, yeah.
Third.
Okay, so you got Herbert in a third year now, right? So you got a little bit more continuity there with a little more beefed up team as well. Just dumb mistakes. And then you got the team that I just said with like Sean said, Pro Bowl, Super Bowl, MVP quarterback type deal, and Russell Wilson with this guy that's coming over that's coached another great quarterback. It's just, do they have a little bit too much ego on that team, or a little bit too much depth? I don't know. And then you have again the continuity, which is the Walrus and Mr. Mahomes, Kermit the Frog.
Walrus.
The Walrus and Kermit the Frog, again, continuity up the ass. And the one guy that scares the hell out of me that they did not get rid of was Mr. Eric Bieniemy. So that guy's still on the team, if I'm not mistaken, because I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have.
He is.
He wouldn't
got a head coaching job.
Because I know exactly he wouldn't have left to get another OC job, right? He's going for a head coach, if anything.
Right.
So I'm gonna have to go here, dude. It's gonna be tough as hell. Man, dude, it's so tough because I want to take the Raiders, but I don't know how good they're going to match with McDaniels in the first year. I'm probably going to have to go with Mahomes again, man. I hate to do it. And it sucks to have to pick Kansas City again, but just the continuity, the offensive coordinator's the same, the coach is the same, Mahomes is going to probably be the same. It's just too tough not to pick them again, right? So I hope I'm wrong, but...
And as we get into the final division, the NFC West, I will add that another wrench thrown into these teams, not just the 4 in the AFC West, but the 4 in the NFC West, we play each other this year. So not only do you have to worry about your division, your other AFC division you're playing, but the Raiders and have to play the Niners, the Rams, the Cardinals. They have to play those other teams and the Seahawks. Well, Seahawks are going to be trash unless you have to travel maybe to Seattle. But either way, but they're right there. Arguably the best division, if not the 1A and 1B. Let's move on to the NFC West. You have the LA Rams defending Super Bowl champions against the Cincinnati Bengals. The 49ers, they're a handful of plays away from getting to the Super Bowl again last year. We just learned today that Jimmy G, they're working on a 1-year deal to stay and keep him in San Francisco. Kyler Murray gets a huge deal in the offseason, but he has to actually study. So we'll see how that plays out this year. And then you have Seattle, who's just like kind of fell off the face of the earth. They don't have the Legion of Boom, and now they don't have Russell Wilson. Gone are the days of them going and potentially winning 2 straight Super Bowls, just winning 1 against Denver. So what say you guys about the NFC West? We can have a repeat. I will say this, that I wouldn't automatically take the Rams. Kind of scares me. I've been reading up on Matthew Stafford. If he's even going to be healthy this year, he might have, they're saying it's a similar injury as what pitchers have. So will he need like some kind of shoulder surgery, or is it elbow? Like Tommy John? Like shoulder. Okay, so I mean, like, yeah, if he doesn't stay healthy, I'm not picking the Rams to win the division.
You got to remember this with the Rams too, and I'm glad you bring that out, because it's like, if you're going to pick the Rams to win the division any year, you might want to go. This might be like one of the last years you want to pick them, because we know they went all in for that year, right? They gave up. They might have changed the way that teams look at, draft picks and free agents and all that type of shit, right? Because they went all in. They got their ring. Right. Aaron Donald did the little pointy ring finger thing, such as, Steph Curry, right? But at the end of the day, dude, you got to remember, they're not getting picks in these rounds until like the 3rd, 4th. Not to say good players can't come out of those rounds. I'm not saying that, because obviously we know what happens in this league, right? You get in, you prove yourself, you can play real hard, but they went all in. So, I mean, they might have like some drawbacks in the years to come. I think that McVay, obviously, they lost the offensive coordinator, you said, Sean, to Minnesota, right? So, I mean, who knows how – it's kind of like losing the offensive coordinator that the Niners did to Miami, right? How big of a role are they actually playing in the team? It's yet to be determined once the season starts. But, I think that the Rams still have another season or 2 left in them. Obviously, they're going to probably be playing with that Super Bowl hangover. The Niners are going to be coming down their necks if Trey Lance, be the quarterback they want him to be.
That's it.
You know what I mean? And just, I still really do like the Rams to possibly finish first, or second. But it's going to be, I think, between them and the Niners for sure. With Kyler Murray, they played so good last year to start. Obviously, the end of the season did not go their way at all. Cliff Kingsbury is, it's another prove-it year for him. He could be on the hot seat this year, right? You get these hot, the hot trophy, these coaches that are like kicking ass in college. Texas Tech, got these high-powered offenses, got these great quarterbacks coming out of the Big 12 and all these crazy-ass, leagues and, conferences that all play the same. And, the NFL sees that, and it's all pretty and everything, and but sometimes these coaches come, they don't really pan out, and I feel like these owners and these organizations really put these, these college coaches that were the shit in college, but NFL's a different game, man. We all know that. I think Cliff Kingsbury is going to kind of be on the hot seat. You get this guy Kyler Murray that obviously the extension signed him. He has to do homework, like Mike said. That was pretty funny. He has to dedicate like half an hour, not even like that much. It's like you say like, dude, at least 4 hours.
Right. Do your job.
It's like, yeah, at least like 4-6 hours. Oh, he has to dedicate like 45 minutes once a week. Yeah, but dude, I don't have too much faith in Arizona. They could be proving me wrong. Obviously, Drew Lock, Missouri Tigers' finest. He has so much potential in college, great arm, but just doesn't really have it upstairs, in my opinion. So I don't really see Seattle, obviously, going to take a step back. No Russell Wilson, Pete Carroll's already getting up there in age. Still a great coach, but we'll see how they do. I don't think they're going to contend. I think it's going to be the Niners. I think it's going to be the Rams. I think Arizona could make it interesting, but that depends on if Kyler Murray is going to go over that 45-minute of allotted education time for him every week. What have you guys, man?
Go ahead, Sean. This is your division.
Man, I think today was one of the best days of the season because it did do a couple things. It kind of solidified what the headache with Jimmy G is going to be. Just end that. Just get that storyline out the window. You now.
And let me say this. I'm glad you guys kept them. I'm sorry. I think that was a good idea.
We had the best backup quarterback in football, and you did the two most important things. You basically said, hey, Trey, you're a quarterback, But the reality is, the second part of what I think, our team is loaded. Our team can win the Super Bowl this season. And I know that deep down Shanahan knows Trey's either going to be, holy crap, this boy's good. Or straight up, it's going to be like, you know what? He might not be ready. The Elias might be a little too big because he's still young. What, 16 if that career starts at North Dakota State? The kid has all the talent in the world. And he's going to be fine. And he's going to have a good NFL career. Don't know if it's too soon. Hope it's not. But you know what? If it gets to week 4, week 5, and we're 1-4 with the team that we have, throw Jimmy in there. We know what we can get with Jimmy. We know Jimmy's 1 game away from the Super Bowl last year. We know Jimmy's 2 feet away from winning the Super Bowl versus the Chiefs. So, I mean, at the end of the day, there's a lot of security in signing Jimmy, straight up. I mean, you met halfway with Jimmy, and he signed a $6 million contract. I mean, it says good on both sides. Division's going to be hard, bro. The Rams, I know there's a Super Bowl hangover, all that fun stuff, and I think that it is a reality. The Super Bowl hangover is real. But, I mean, they're just good, man. They added Bobby Wagner. I mean, Cooper Kupp got his contract. He's happy. They got Allen Robinson. I mean, they're freaking good.
Right. Allen Robinson, I mean, he's probably going to replace Robert Woods, but I think you get someone who
better.
He's someone who is better, because if you want to talk about fantasy stats, I have a fun little stat for you. In his years in Chicago and Jacksonville, these are has been Allen Robinson's quarterbacks.
Don't you do that, Mike.
Chase
don't you
Daniel.
do that.
So we have Mitchell Trubisky, Chase Daniel, Nick Foles, Andy Dalton, Justin Fields, and Blake Bortles have been his quarterbacks in his career so far. Now you have, if it's a healthy, Matthew Stafford, he's gonna go bonkers as someone's wide receiver 3, right? Like, he's not getting drafted, maybe wide receiver 2, but he's gonna be up there in possibly the top
100%.
12 to 15 in fantasy stats this year.
I think as long as the Rams stay healthy, as long as the Niners stay healthy, it's obviously that's the 2-horse race, and it's not even close. And yes, again, this is where I guess my 1% bias comes in. The Niners, and I'm not just saying it because I love them. I think they are a very complete team. I think they're loaded. I really, really do. Signing the quote-unquote crybaby Debo, whatever people want to call it, he's a wide back that's just a freaking stud. You still got Kittle. Ayuk has all the makings of having a breakout year. Elijah Mitchell's a damn good running back. The offensive line's still pretty damn good, led by Trent Williams. And just that defense, man. Bosa, Warner. You got Jesus Christ, Ward from Kansas City. So you got a good team. Put it together and just most importantly, stay healthy. Just stay healthy, man.
Right. And that's my wrench that I'm going to throw in there, just because I'm not really saying maybe pan out, just because just the lack of experience from Trey Lance. I think this is the year that they might need the extra year, and I think they'll make the wild card just because the system they have in place and then the roster they have in place. But I don't know if he's going to get them there this year. I will say that Stafford scares me. I'm not going to lie. Like, they have the talent if they don't have Stafford, but if he gets hurt and he misses any time this year, so I'm just going to throw it out there. Like, not saying that on paper this is what's supposed to happen, but I'm going to say that Trey Lance underperforms, Stafford does not stay healthy, and I'm going to put they were like 11th in the league in scoring points and giving up points last year. They lost Chandler Jones, but I'm going to just throw this as my Hail Mary to say, yeah, I called it. I'm saying the Arizona Cardinals are winning the NFC West.
There it is. Oof, I'm happy Hail Marys don't land too often. Right. It's more because I just don't want to see Arizona.
Hopefully it's an Aaron Rodgers Hail Mary, because he's connected on a few.
The only thing I would say too about Trey, which I'm beyond happy, he's under a Shanahan offense, so damn well it's going to be probably 55% run.
Right. And
the playbook won't be the way it was last year for those couple starts, that he may be seeing 50 to 60% of that playbook. Now that he's actually hey, you're the starting quarterback,
right? He'll
have 100% access. Shanahan could do a lot more things with his intangibles. So, I mean, just don't make him be the reason why we need him to win the game.
Right.
There's going to be some games he's going to need to go out there and make that throw, run for those yards. But if you're in the Niner offense, it's not always dependent on what the quarterback does. So, I mean, we'll see. I'm with you on that, Mike. Just stay healthy.
I think you guys have been like that for a long time, ever since like it was Gore and Jeff Garcia. Like even way back then, you've always been the team to like just pound the ball and be a top 5 running team for all those years that he was there, right? And then you had like the couple years that
even
Kaepernick, right? Because Kaepernick was like your Lamar Jackson to where, and then you had like Matt Breida and a couple other running backs who was like, who cares if this Mostert, at least, who cares who got hurt? Next man up. Like you always had really good depth ever since. I mean, Gore was always the guy, but once he left, it always seems it was like a revolving door of all these running backs who you might not have heard their name, but because of the system and because the offensive line that they have set in place, they easily can become successful, move the chains, keep the other offense off the field, keep your defense fresh. Like your defense, I think the Niners defense, they're still 10th or 11th in scoring, defensive scoring last year. So, I mean, yeah, it's going to be a tough one, but I'm just like kind of like in my own head, like, this is what's going to happen. So, I don't know. So just for S's and G's, just to be different, I'm going to go Cardinals.
Pick division.
Well, as long as you just have to watch out for Aaron Donald swinging those helmets, man.
Shit, right?
Dude. Bro.
10.5 wins for the Rams, 9.5 for the Niners, 8.5 for the Cardinals. So I would
go over Niners.
I would do over Niners and Cards, and possibly maybe even under for Rams. That's what I'm saying. This is banking on if Stafford can get healthy. And who knows? What if this happens? Stafford gets hurt in week 4, and they fucking sorry the language, folks, but they trade for Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh gosh, I don't know what we ain't trading Jimmy now.
Right? No, I know.
Niners do
because the Rams don't have anything to give up. So
Niners have the Rams number recent years.
Yeah, I mean, and even last year, like in that playoff game, Jaquiski Tartt, 2 hands catch the ball. You win the NFC Championship. I mean,
isn't it funny? It always comes down to one play, one errant whistle, one guy who can't.
And you don't like to say that,
you know?
but it's legit one play,
right,
bro. There's no one within 10 yards of you, 20 yards of you. The ball hit him right in the freaking chest.
Oh, you're talking to the experts of this. So one play could change everything. Tuck rule,
Tuck rule.
You're literally talking to, So.
We'll see. I'm going Niners.
So we'll see. So I'll go Cardinals. And are you sticking with Rams? Is this a 3-way, just different, Mark?
It's a 3-way. I'm Rams.
All right, let's do it. That's actually gonna be something cool and interesting to keep tabs on this year. But really quick, we're approaching 2 hours live, not necessarily time in the episode, but let's go quick. Who is everyone's 2 teams that are going to make it to the Super Bowl? And then who's your Super Bowl champion for the 2022-2023 NFL season?
Chris Berman pick. Niners defeat the Bills.
What? And who do the Niners and Bills beat in the championship games?
Niners will defeat the the Rams.
Okay,
and
so
the Bills,
so a repeat of last year.
The Bills will end up beating either the Chargers or the Raiders.
What?
Yeah, let's go.
I will not live. I will have a heart attack if the Raiders make the AFC Championship game.
Yeah, well,
I'm already calling them not going to make the freaking playoffs.
You're in the AFC Championship last year if a certain whistle doesn't go off.
Yeah.
You have to win one more game, but you would have beat that team probably.
Okay. Now, this is going to be a very hurtful season for me, guys, especially in the AFC, because I think that the Chiefs and Chargers are going to be playing in the AFC Championship game. Chiefs and Chargers. It's going to be very hurtful for your boy right here. And I think that the Chiefs, just with the experience, I think that the Chiefs go to the Super Bowl. Let's see. What we got here? Damn it. What do we got?
I mean, I think that
the NFC is tougher for me to pick for my NFC Championship game, and yeah.
There's going to be at least 3 teams like you out of the AFC West that are going to make the playoffs, dude.
100%.
I think so, and I think possibly 3 teams out of the NFC West.
If we're talking about like in our first division that we actually broke down, the AFC East, if we're talking about New England kind of regressing a little bit, and we're talking about Miami possibly struggling in their first year, and I mean, who leaves that division? The Bills. And then AFC South, if the only team we're talking about is the freaking Indianapolis Colts, so that's 2 teams. There's what,
Cincinnati.
6 or 7 that make the playoffs now? 7, right? There's like
One
7
bye
teams.
week.
There's like 7 teams that make the playoffs now, right? It used to be
because you go
all
7 and one team has a bye, and then you have 6 goes down to 3, but add the bye, and that's the 4, and then so 7 in each.
So now
conference.
there's 7 exactly. So it's like you're gonna tell me that it's just I see like you said it could be. Is there a way that 4 teams can make it out of the AFC West?
Now,
So
the NFC is banking on health because I'm banking on health, right? I'm gonna go the let me see.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Right, Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the NFC Championship game against the Rams. And the Rams go back to the Super Bowl, but Mahomes and the Chiefs win the Super Bowl, even without Tyreek.
Yeah,
that's my pick. Unfortunately, I think last year was way different. I think I had like Green Bay over Buffalo. I think so. Mm-hmm. But hey, Sean's got Buffalo, so one of us at least has Buffalo this year. So Mark, actually I'll write these down. I'll keep them in our notes for season long. But yeah, go ahead, Mark. Who's your conference finals games and your Super Bowl game and champ?
I'm gonna have to go probably with Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl as well.
Okay,
who do they
beat?
To get there,
I had them losing to the Rams, by the way.
Man, this is so tough.
Yeah, it is.
It's so hard with Trey Lance. What's he gonna do? It's just, Sean's. Man.
I think the easiest thing to be is have the question mark, which people should have. But I'm looking at the glass half full. Like, if things go right with this kid, and if not, throw in Jimmy. And if Jimmy just does what Jimmy does, it won't be too bad.
Does Dallas get out of the first round?
Oh, Dallas won. They don't even make the
playoffs. Damn. Sean, actually thinking about your picks, you're one game away from a Niners-Raiders Super Bowl, mind you.
Yeah.
If the Raiders were, if that happened and then the Raiders and Bills played.
If that happens, bro, honestly, we'll be doing the podcast live. We'll do freaking Super Bowl row.
No, I can't. I won't be able to podcast. I won't be able to do anything for 2.5 weeks. I can't. I won't be able to look at you, talk to you, nothing. I have to just sit in my room. I might work from home for 2 weeks. I just can't see anybody. I can't talk about it. I'll be a nervous wreck. Oh, God, I can't even think about that. See, that's the thing. It's like I'd be a nervous wreck for 2.5 weeks, and then after the fact, complaining or cheering, right? But like the anxiety, just oh my God, if we actually made it, like why would I complain? But then at the same time, if they did make it, oh my God, I'd have to go see a therapist. For oh my God. Go ahead, Mark. Sorry.
I'll take the Rams over Tampa Bay, actually, man.
That's good.
So Rams over Tampa.
I can see it.
So Rams. So that's my same NFC Championship and same Super Bowl in the NFC. So now what's your AFC?
Here's where it gets juicy. Which AFC West are you picking?
Exactly.
You might have.
Dude, what a boring year, man.
It's boring, but look how much stress it's adding, though. It's boring, but like.
Because we're trying to pick like 2 teams out of like 32, so that's pretty hard. But
that's just gonna make
it's just fun, the competition. It's like okay, so
someone's gonna surprise
so we're So in the AFC, we're basically skipping the North and the South and basically telling each other, so who's going to be the contender for the Bills from the West? Mm-hmm. Is that really what the whole season's going to come down to? Mm-hmm. Who's going to contend?
Are you really forgetting about the Bengals too? It's crazy.
Bengals,
are we
Colts.
just automatically throwing them out there? No. Is the AFC North going to beat up on each other? Yeah, I don't know.
I don't believe in the statue. I don't believe in freaking Lamar Jackson that much, although I believe in him more than the statue. And I just think Cincinnati can be a little bit hungover. But yeah, Cincinnati, I'll say it could be I say Buffalo Bills beat the Raiders to get in.
There it is.
So you have the same NFC Championship, and you have, well, he said Chargers or Raiders, but let's just say You have the same AFC Championship as Sean. So now who's your champ?
He's going to go LA back-to-back for sure.
The Bills.
There it is. We needed that. Hey, I'm happy to hear that, man. I mean, I don't want it against my pick, but...
How good have the Bills been? I mean, like you said, they were 13 seconds and a Patrick Mahomes miracle away.
A prevent defense away from getting the Super Bowl.
Right. So it's gonna be an awesome year. Just to give another perspective, Aaron thinks it's Bills versus Buccaneers. Bucks are Super Bowl champions. So Tom Brady gets his seventh ring. He thinks it's gonna be Bills over Ravens in the AFC Championship and Bucks over your Eagles, Sean. I'm gonna call them your Eagles for the rest of the year because that's you.
Eagles could be that good though.
Fly, Eagles fly. You never know. But yeah, so I think that's pretty much it. We're gone a little overboard, but we have our, you have everything you guys need to hopefully make an informed decision on who you're going to be picking for season long, but I hope everyone has, I hope everyone's healthy, throughout the season. It's never, unless it works out in your favor, of course, but it's always if that team was healthy, So for the most part, hope all the teams are healthy. And just hope for a good season. So it's going to be nice. We're going to do this again like every single week. Next week, we're going to go straight into week 1. We're going to get mostly into college and week 2 or week 3 of college, week 1 of the NFL. Of course, sprinkle in some comic books, some entertainment, some NASCAR, MLB, all that good stuff and more coming your way for the next 23 weeks of the Comic Bookies podcast. I cannot wait. Hopefully get some guests along the way. Definitely Alex, a few friends, a few new acquaintances and friends. So excited for what's to come for this show.
The mini super contest, if anyone wants to join.
Yeah, the super contest, exactly. So everyone, I'll do some posts and stuff on Twitter and IG and stuff, kind of promoting it, and YouTube as well. Do some shorts and stuff, but definitely in the next couple weeks, I hope that we can, and it's all free. You don't have to pay anything, and then hopefully the winner of this fan contest will win like a nice little goodie bag and stuff. But hopefully we get some a lot more representation and people actually joining in. Compared to last season. But yeah, guys, take it away.
I love what we do every year for episode 158, what we did today, the whole NFL preview show. If you guys don't know us, you know us. We love the NFL. And to what Mike said, we hope everybody has a good NFL season, a good fantasy football season. Hopefully your team stays healthy. And yeah, podcast-wise, very happy for whoever took the time to listen to us, who's going to listen to us. Definitely keep supporting us. Keep checking us out. Well, Mike said it's going to be a weekly thing. We're definitely going to be getting into the trenches with baseball playoffs shortly. Basketball is right around the corner. NFL is here. So, yeah, keep supporting us. Love you guys.
Yes. Like Sean just said, gonna be fun times to start rounding out our summer days, but nonetheless, football is upon us. Although I can't wait to get back into the NASCAR playoffs, and nonetheless, always our entertainment side, because it's always fun to see what's happening in the streaming world. Like I said, don't forget, Amazon Prime is going to start doing Thursday Night Football, I think in the second week of the season. So more stuff to talk along with our Prime, with our more stuff to keep talking about with our streaming services. Let's see how the numbers are going to do for Amazon. Are they going to continue? I don't know how long the damn contract was. But yes, going forward, it's going to be fun in the mini contest. Can't wait to have you guys join along. As always, join us on all social media at the Comic Bookies on Instagram and Twitter. If you want to email us, if you want to interview, let us know. If you guys know someone interesting in the industry, sports, comics, entertainment, what have you, let us know at thecomicbookies@gmail.com. And yes, it's going to be fun. And thank you guys for listening. It's been a long one, but we're back, baby. Once a week, as we said, every Monday, 9 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard. Kind of late on the East Coast, but if you're awake, join us and we'll get down on some NFL talk, review, and great episodes for the week to round you guys out.
Oh yeah, dude. And then you guys would be like, we're going to be the first live episode for everyone. It's gonna be right after Monday Night Football. If you're up late on the East Coast or just kind of getting ready to go to bed and need something to watch or listen to, definitely hit us up. We are on all social media accounts: IG, Twitter, IG, Twitter, Facebook, follow us. Email is thecomicbookies@gmail.com. Our great sponsor, Treasure Island Comics, follow them on IG and Twitter @TI Comics. Visit Alex every Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. I will say that I didn't know what this was, but I'm going to just throw it out there real quick. This new app called Whatnot, people do live like auctions and stuff, so definitely I will be kind of dabbling in that, and we will be giving away number one of new comic book stories. I have some bobbleheads and some pop toys that I may give away, and we might actually do some auction stuff. We'll try to get some swag and some books and stuff signed by artists and writers and stuff, and maybe we do some auctions so that way people can get some cool stuff to put add to their collection, and we'll also raise money for like good causes and stuff. But to round out my little spiel, we have our stats for the week on the United States. Just the Bay Area, SF, Oakland, and San Jose still stay atop number 1. Great Falls, Montana 2. New York number 3. Wheeling, West Virginia up there strong at number 4. And the Valley, Sacramento, Stockton, Modesto round out the top 5. And welcome 2 new countries, totaling us to 44 different countries who have downloaded the Comic Bookies podcast. Welcome Slovakia and Hungary. So we're like overtaking a good chunk of Europe right now currently. But
Europe, baby.
But yeah, can't wait for the season to start, everyone. Hope everyone's safe, happy, and healthy. For Mark and Sean, this is Mike. Episode 158 is now done. Enjoy the sports, enjoy the comics, and enjoy the hell out of each other. See you guys next Monday, week 1, baby.
Peace.
Peace out. And always enjoy each other. And of course, always enjoy. What else do you think I'm going to say? Football. Come on now, baby. We're back. We love y'all.
Let's go.